106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. I'm your host, Gabe. This is Double Impact. It's going to be a fun one tonight. John Wick, one of the great modern action movies. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say something, a little bit of something about September 11th. I don't know where you were. I know where I was. And September 11th and everything that has happened since, it makes me very grateful and very happy for the world that we have, that we still have our world. That is a day for people of all ages, but I know people definitely in my generation where the world changed. The only thing I can compare it to for people who are living, it must be for the boomers, the olders, when JFK was assassinated. But the pre 9/11 world and the post 9/11 world, they just couldn't be more different. There was obviously more hopefulness, more freedom, and I think we've healed a lot. I mean, it's been almost a quarter century, right? It's been 23 years to this day. But I do remember where I was. I was a sophomore in college. Now, I'm older than that. I didn't go to college the first 4 years after I graduated high school. I was a father, and I was just trying to get a job at Wildstorm and DC Comics right off the bat out of high school. I wasn't trying to go to college. And I struggled for 4 years. I worked construction. I worked at a cardboard box factory, a newspaper factory. I worked at Toys R Us. I had all these odd jobs. I was a janitor. It's the only job I've ever been fired from. I should tell you guys about being fired as a janitor. It was very funny how I got canned. But so I went to college when I was like 21 or something like that. So I graduated college in August of 2004. So it's my 20-year anniversary of being a college graduate from the University of Northern Colorado, the Bears. But I was a sophomore in college, and I was getting dressed to go to class. I had an art class at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. And I turned on the TV, and one of the towers was smoking. It had been hit by a plane earlier that morning. And I thought, how sad. What a terrible accident. And because, everyone assumes after one, it was just an accident. And I remember I'm getting dressed, and I'm tying my shoes or whatever I'm doing. And all of a sudden, the news that's on in my bedroom, I had a TV at the foot of my bed. By the way, if you're married, this is something I learned a long time ago. Don't have a TV in your bedroom, guys. Bedroom is for sleeping and for not sleeping and being wide awake with your wife. Don't have a TV. It's very bad for the sex life, bad for the intimacy. Don't have a TV in my room for decades now. But I had one back in 2001. And I'm getting dressed. One tower's hit. That's bad. Holy shit. What an awful plane crash. And then the second one, and I knew in that moment, and everyone knew in that moment, this ain't Well, I mean, what are the probability that 2 accidents like that in the same area? Like, really? And just what a bizarre day. What a bizarre day for everybody. But, oh, there he is. Jericho Green. He is, he's on his way home. Drive the speed limit, friend. Obey all traffic laws at all times. And don't look at your phone of my beautiful face talking. Get here safely and join us on the show. Yeah, Jericho's got football practice, so he's a little bit late, and that's okay because we love him being a father and helping coach and watch that football. So we gladly indulge that, Jericho. We love that. I wouldn't want it any other way. I coached my boy in football for years, and he went on to be a great player in high school, won the Southern State Championship, won the city championship, the region a couple times. So please take your boy to football. We're fine with you being a little late. That's totally cool. But yeah, it's 9/11, and we all changed that day, man. And some for the worse, some for the better. But I think strength is only built through resistance. You only get strong if you work that muscle, right? And I think to get through that as a people, we felt unified as a nation. Got a lot of thoughts about the next 20 years of the global war on terror. Got a lot of thoughts about that. But nothing but love and respect to the veterans. I live in a military town. You guys know that San Diego has more military population than any city on earth. San Diego does. We have the Navy base. We have the Navy SEAL base. We have another Navy base. We have the Navy recruit thing. We have the Marine Air Station, Top Gun. That was the Navy Air Station. We have Camp Pendleton. We have more military than any city on earth. Love our veterans. Love them. Jericho Green, the co-host of the show, he's a Navy veteran. Shout out to Jericho for that. But I remember that day. It changed everything. It was like, for me, I was 23. That's like childhood end. And obviously I wasn't a kid anymore at 23. I mean, I've been a father since I was 18. But to me, that innocent world, it ended there, and it's never been the same since. But I think those of us that are fighters, that have resolve and all that, we didn't let it ruin our lives and end us and all this stuff and become cynical and all that. To me, it was a great and tragic reminder of the fleeting moment of life, that no matter how long you live, that life is fleeting and you better take advantage of every day God grants you breath when you wake up. Let me look at some of these comments. Who is here? Lucas Latterly, Lee Kindler, Mark's Music Obsession, the great channel member for forever. Who else is here? Heather is here. Hello, Heather. Michael Coulter, he says, he was in high school on September 11th. I was in the classroom. We were all learning something. The principal came over the intercom and said the towers were attacked, and that day pissed me off. And rightly it should have. Your tribe, your nation, your people were attacked, and it was just the worst thing. We all felt piss and vinegar that day, man. And, being born in 1978 is a twofer for me going to school and seeing tragedy. In second grade, they pull out those of you young, you don't know, they used to roll this giant metal cart with a 4,000-pound CRT television out, and you'd watch TV. And before that, they'd pull a projector out with big reels of film. In second grade in 1986, in January, in Mrs. Stinson's class, who I had a big crush on because she looked just like Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, who I was in love with Princess Leia, we watched the Challenger space shuttle blow up on TV in second grade. So I'm in college watching 9/11. I'm in second grade watching the Challenger. So just two mind-blowing moments in my educative, that's not a word, Gabe, in my educational career. Let me look at some more of these comments here. Let's see. Jericho says he's staring at his phone, pedal to the metal. No, disavow. You drive safely. You follow all the laws. Let's see. Jericho says, shout out to my son, Georgie. Yeah, you said he scored a touchdown on the first play of his first game or something like that. Insane. Michael Coulter, he was born on June 15th, 85. And, okay, so it was right before that Challenger thing. Yeah, so it's a somber day. It was a somber day yesterday for comic book people everywhere. John Cassidy, one of the legendary illustrators of the last 25 years, died young at 52, relatively young. Don't know any details. One of my heroes. He's the artist of Planetary, one of the greatest comic books of all time. My favorite comic book of all time is Planetary. It only ran for 26 issues. Comics are typically once a month. What is this, Daffy Duck? Comic books are typically once a month, but this came out every few months because it was a labor of love. They worked on it much slower than regular. Rest in peace, John Cassidy. He worked for Wildstorm, That is the subsidiary studio of DC Comics that I aspired to work at since I was young. And he was a hero of mine. I never met him. We worked at the same studio in different years. He went on to be just a legendary artist for Marvel Comics, so much X-Men stuff. His Wolverine and Colossus were just some of the best ever. Great artist, and obviously a tragedy for his family and loved ones, and a tragedy for the art form. What an absolute master of the craft. He, Warren Ellis, and colorist Laura Martin, who's my favorite comic book colorist, just insane work. If you like the X-Files and Twilight Zone and Star Trek, where they have that whole concept of monster of the week, you'll love Planetary. Every issue was just the most bizarre, out there concept ever, just so weird. And there was an overarching story over the whole series, but every issue just had the weirdest. I don't even want to describe it. This is a gem. It's worth picking up the collected graphic novels. I have the giant expensive hardcovers. My boss manager at Wildstorm, Claudia Chong, she gave me one of the huge collected editions. They're like over a foot tall. They're giant size ones. Planetary is a favorite. So rest in peace, John Cassidy. You were one of the true legends of the art form. I never met him, but everyone who knew him as a friend says he was a gentleman and a real sweetheart. So very, very sad. And Jericho reminds us that the man, think about, you want to talk about resolve. The man who overcame a stutter went on to have the most legendary voice in movie history. Think about that. His problem was his voice when he was young, his stutter. And he went on to be Thulsa Doom in Conan. He went on to be Darth Vader. He was in The Sandlot. He was in Field of Dreams. He was an unstoppable force of nature as an actor, and that voice of Darth Vader, one of the greatest villains of all time. Thulsa Doom in Conan, one of the greatest villains of all time, the Riddle of Steel. I mean, I can't even do his baritone justice. So, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Obviously, he was much older. He was 93. But, yeah. So I made a video that was published yesterday, thinking about John Cassidy, thinking about, James Earl Jones, thinking about life and thinking about 9/11 and all that, how it's fleeting. And don't waste a damn day of your life, guys. Apologize to that family member. Start the diet tonight. Enroll in the junior college tonight. Ask the girl that you love out tonight. Don't wait another minute. You're not guaranteed, not just tomorrow, you're not guaranteed 2 minutes from now. Nobody is. And that's what makes life beautiful. Don't be cynical about that. Don't think that's a bad thing that you might live short or whatever. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it precious. It really is. That's what makes it priceless, is how short it could be. We've all suffered loss. We've all suffered tragedy. And there are people in your life that are just in a picture frame. They're gone now. That's all you have left. And if you could see them another time, you would. So take advantage. Grab it by the horns. You can have anything you want if you earn it. You can't just have anything you want because you want it. That's not how anything works. Let me look at the comments here. Michael Coulter, down here in Texas, we got some badass Army bases. Fort Bliss, and there's a town called Calhoun, Texas, and it's an Army town. It's a military town, and has the strictest laws of the state. Fort Bliss is part of why I exist. My grandfather, a Coloradan, he, World War II, he's drafted into the Army, and he fought in the Pacific bravely, but he did his training for the Army at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas, where he met my grandmother at church on a Sunday. And that's part of why I'm here, is Fort Bliss, because that's where he was. So yeah, shout out to Fort Bliss. Gave the world one of the greatest comic book writers, illustrators of all time, me. Speaking of that, you guys, you're going to want to go to bigmancomics.com because over there, I got a little something for you. I have got the awesome t-shirts. If you want to be part of the Antisocial Social Club, all you got to do is buy the shirt and you're in. You're in with me. Guys, I'm trying not to cuss for the channel. I poop you not. I kid you not. The Anti-Socialist Social Club gets me so many nods and affirmations like, oh, yeah, that's an awesome shirt. I'm a member, too. I love your shirt. I always get that all the time when I wear that. I also get a lot of nods on my best World's Best Grandpa shirt. I think because I look too young to be a grandpa, people always laugh when they see it and say something. There he is, the best grandpa. But I was in Vegas this last weekend with my very best childhood friend who I've known since I was 9 years old. He's literally a day older than me. And, we were both fathers and husbands now for years. And we got away from it all for the first time in forever. We went to Las Vegas Friday morning, came home Monday morning, and we just watched football on Saturday, watched football on Sunday. We went shooting with a friend of mine who's a Las Vegas police detective. He gave us all these pointers about shooting. I'm a way better shot just in one session. I'm a good shot, but I want to improve. But I had a fabulous weekend with the fellas. It was just awesome. And I wore the Antisocial Social Club shirt and got so many comments. And I also got comments on the Grandpa shirt. Go to bigmancomics.com. Get yourself some big man threads. Quality apparel made in the USA, by the way. You know the triangle white metal building in Stallone's Demolition Man? My shirts are made right by there. So that's a movie double impact connection to my shirts. And Top Gun is across the street from that white triangle building from Demolition Man. Top Gun, Tom Cruise, Goose, Maverick, it's across the street from where that white triangle building is. That's Miramar Road. That's Miramar Road is where the Miramar Naval, now Marine Corps Air Station is. So, get your big man threads. Then, while you're getting a shirt, you will wear the shirt while you read this. And you're going to love this. It's the greatest entertainment. You're mad. You're mad as hell that Star Wars sucks now. All the stuff is woken. It sucks. You're mad at these people because they ruined, they pooped in your cornflakes and you hate it. And you want good cornflakes. They're delicious without any poop in them. I made you that. Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. I made you that because I love you. I want to be successful and make money. And I want to entertain you and inspire you. I put the signed covers back up, the extra ones Dean and I signed back in the spring. These were for damages and lost books, but we had about 50 or so. And I have about 20 or so left. I put them out last week and A and B sold out. I think maybe C sold out or it's close, but you can still get E, F, and the art book signed. So if you want that, the link is in the description. And I know you want it. So you need to run and get that. Someone is in my office. Hold on. Do you need something? Oh, it's just my wife doing her job in the garage. So yeah, head over to bigmancomics.com and you will love that stuff there. So we got awesome apparel and we got awesome books for you over there. So just circling back on what I was talking about before about the 9/11 stuff, it is obviously a tragedy. It pissed everyone off, made everyone sad. But I think you have to have the right attitude about all this stuff and you got to move forward and you got to say that this is what reminds us how precious life is. This is what reminds us to go out there and get it. You are awesome. You are amazing. I try this thing now. I've been trying it for a while. Everyone I see, even though I don't know them, I look at them and point at them in my mind. I don't just go up and point at them in real life. I say, that guy's awesome. Maybe he's an amazing singer. Maybe he coaches kids or he helps disabled children or he visits old people at the nursing home. Or that guy's awesome. That girl's awesome. That kid's awesome. That old man's awesome. I just tell myself glass half full, because social media, the news, everything, they're telling you to hate everyone, hate everyone, hate everyone. That guy's a libtard communist. That guy's a white supremacist conservative. And I'm tired of it. I'm not going to listen to that crap. I'm not. So I just go around saying everyone is awesome until proven otherwise. Have a good attitude, love people, think the best of them, give them that benefit of the doubt. And I'm telling you, it's the right way to be. It is the right. Now, when someone proves that they are not trustworthy and all that, don't be stupid. Don't keep the rose-colored glasses on. Get the hell away from them. But go in positive. Go in loving. Go in thinking people are awesome. And I think that of you guys. I mean, you guys subscribe to my channel and you watch it. That makes you awesome already. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and share this out. Let's all take a moment. Get your finger, grab your mouse, or if you're on your iPad or your phone, look down a little bit and click like. You did it? Okay, like me, click. And then next thing, this is a small favor. I need you to do it. Click share. Right now, on your phone, iPad, whatever. Just do it. Just do it. You make the show stronger. You are a part of this. You are part of the culture war when you do that. I'll make the awesome books, movies, TV shows, video games with Big Man, the company. You will help make it happen by sharing it out and buying the books and all that. We're working together. We're winning together. Let me look at the comments here. Think about what you think about. He says, Dad was in the Army and we were stationed at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. Oh, wow. My Uncle Terrell was an air traffic controller civilian who worked at Honolulu International Airport. And I think he was an Army, no, he was an Air Force, ROTC or whatever the Air Force equivalent is. And he may have been an Air Force air traffic controller too at first before he became a civilian one. Let's see. Lucas Letter, I think he's adding to my concept of thinking the best of strangers when you don't know them and just be cool and nice. He's saying good morning goes a long way too. Yeah, I think so. I think, you know how Guy Fieri acts? I love Guy Fieri. Diners, drive-ins, and dines. Dude, is that a road trip or what? I love Guy Fieri. And it's a tell for me when somebody hates him. That tells me that's not a person I want to be friends with. Now, if you don't like him just because it's a taste thing, you don't like the show just based on taste, fine. Not everything is for everyone. But when I hear people badmouth him and mock him and say he's like a phony and a shithead, that's a tell for me. He is I don't know if he's kind and genuine. I don't know him, but he presents nothing but positivity. And I think after like 15 years on the air, you'd smell it if he was fake. And he comes across as a guy who does the thing I'm trying to do. He goes up to the little restaurant where he's eating and he loves the people there. And oh my God, you guys make homemade, handmade empanadas? That is so cool. And he's just so positive, but he means it. And that is a sign of a person that was raised very well by a loving mother and father who had the right rules and the right parameter, the right amount of praise, the right amount of discipline. He is so well adjusted. And I think people who are bitter and have like broken families, they hate him, I think, out of resentment. This is just a theory I have. I've not done any research. But I think when people unreasonably hate Guy Fieri, it's a huge red flag to me. Let's see here. Let's see. Think about what you think about. There's mocking the Democrats. And Lucas Letter says, the stupid fox riding the dog? What is a fox riding the dog? Is that something from the circus, like when a monkey rides a little thing or something like that? I don't know what we're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about, sir. But either way, let's see. So tonight's movie is going to be John Wick, which I haven't seen in a few years, but I love. Now, I will admit I haven't seen part 4. For whatever reason, I wasn't excited about it, so I just didn't go see it. But I definitely need to see it. The first 3 were very satisfying. I love them all. I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch. You guys let me know in the chat. What do you think of part 4? Is it worth seeing? For whatever reason, I saw the ads and all things, and it just didn't appeal to me. I didn't care. Mark's music obsession. Remember, for 13 months, 16 months, that's right. I competed in sharpshooting and skeet shooting as a kid up to 20. My dad trained me. He was trained and was a ranger, so I knew stuff. Wow. Shout out to your dad for his service, for being a ranger. That's amazing. That's awesome that he spent that time with you. Zippy the Unicorn. Dude, I'm always coaching disabled white supremacists, but I don't seem to get the necessary credit. Zippy, you just keep doing what you do. You help the less fortunate. That's what we want you to do, Zippy the Unicorn. Let's see. Michael Coulter. Gabe, you're making video games too. Please do, man. The gaming industry is in utter turmoil right now. Not yet, but that's the plan. I'm going to grow responsibly and slowly, but the plan is full entertainment. I want to do everything. I want to do what Walt Disney did, because when he did it right, and it was family values, nobody did it better. You can't touch classic Disney. You can't. Beautiful execution, the greatest artwork, musical, singing, animation, and it had good messages. You can't touch that. That's all I want to do. And we've started. We have Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. We have other books coming, and we're on our way. But I understand that it takes consistency, because I think a lot of people, they want their result now. So they think it's intensity. But let's talk in weightlifting terms, exercise terms, because as you all know, I keep it sexy by exercising all the time. I was talking to my wife about intensity versus consistency yesterday. And if you did 1,000 push-ups in one day, or you did 25 every day, what's going to get you better results? If you do 1,000 one day, once a month, you're just going to hurt your shoulders, and you're not going to get a lot of results out of it. You're overtraining. If you do 25 or 50 every day, you're going to get a nice tight chest and good shoulders, good triceps from all that, because you're being consistent. So with Big Man Comics, we're being consistent. Good books, well written, beautifully illustrated, amazingly written, to be honest, beautifully designed, printed, shipped on time, everything. We avoid the problems of the other publishers. That Marvel and DC, they do all this stuff, and Dark Horse Image, they do all, and even in the indie scene, they do all this stuff that I don't agree with, I don't approve of, and I can do better. So I'm going to do it that way, and you guys help me do it, and that's freaking amazing, and I appreciate you all. But the point is to grow slowly and responsibly. That's the point, to make sure we do it right, because I do want the whole thing. I want the amusement parks like Disneyland. I want the streaming shows. I want all of it, because there's a vacuum for it, and you guys are pissed because you want it. You want to watch the shows. You want to play the games. You want to buy the toys. You want to buy the clothes for your kids. You want to go to the theme park. You want to do all these things, and you don't want the woke stuff in there. It's like biting into food. And you're like, whoa, what is in there? And you pull a hair out of your food. That's what woke is like. It's like pulling the other day I was eating a sausage patty, and I bit it. And everyone knows what hair feels like in your mouth. And I pull this hair out, and a little piece of sausage is just dangling on the bottom of the hair. That's what woke is like. You're like, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. Delish. And then you got 1.5 foot of hair coming out of your sandwich. That's what woke is like. You don't want it. And I'm here to give you the opposite of that. I'm here. Let me look in here. Zippy the Unicorn says, Walt Disney was also very anti-communist. Who do you think you're talking to? Of course I know that. He was for the Council for Un-American Activities, and he testified before the Congress about all the commies taking over Hollywood. And it turns out he was right. Guy Fieri is an American treasure. You're damn right about that. I've been to like 20 of the restaurants that have been on his show, and like half of them out of coincidence. My wife and I will be traveling like, oh, look up something with sandwiches. We'll look it up. We'll go there. And then that spray, he does a spray painted face and his logo, and they put it on the wall of every restaurant he goes to. And I've been to like 10 of them by accident and a bunch of them on purpose. But I love Guy Fieri. I always go to Spiritos in the north part of San Diego. It's a little city called Carlsbad, next to Oceanside. Oceanside is next to the Marine training place, Camp Pendleton, the main Marine base. Spiritos Family Italian Restaurant. It's a Guy Fieri one that he visited. Awesome Italian food. Let's see. Heather says, welcome, Heather. Welcome back from Lake Havasu, where I hope it's cooled off. It was hot as hell in San Diego. While I was out of town in Vegas, I missed the heat, but it was bad Monday when I got back. Now, for San Diego, where I live right next to the ocean, bad was 90. I think it hit 93 one of the days. My wife told me while I was gone, it was terrible. It was so hot. But for us San Diegans, terrible is 90. That's like, and everybody lays around and they can't do anything. Heather says, I have several clients that come to the salon that are between 70 and 104. When I find myself feeling irritated, I remind myself this could be the last time they have their hair done. Yeah, absolutely. I talked in my video that I posted Tuesday. Go watch it after this about Grandpa Rocky. He's not my real grandpa, but I love the guy. He's my brother-in-law's wife's grandpa. No relation. He's a blue-eyed Italian guy. Love me. For the last 20-something years that he's known me. Love me. Always loved talking to me. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the family parties when I would see him. Hey, Gabe. And he would always tell me about his ventures. He was quite the ladies' man. He was a widow, so it's cool. He wasn't doing anything funny. But he would always tell me about his new girlfriend or this or that. And it was cool. He was a charming, awesome dude. He's a Navy veteran. That's part of why he's in San Diego, right? It's a big Navy town, the biggest Navy town. And we watched the Army-Navy football game at his house. It was 2 Novembers ago. And my father-in-law was there. He's a Navy veteran. And another guy, my brother-in-law's father-in-law was there. He's a Navy veteran. And we watched it, and everyone's screaming and hollering and laughing and having fun. We got these awesome sandwiches from this Italian deli. And Navy won. It's like a movie. Navy wins it in the last 5 minutes of the game on a fumble or an interception. I remember the guy that got it. His name was Fagot, but it's pronounced Fagot, not the other way. And he won the game for Navy. And it was so cool to see these old men cheering and hollering for their team. And if you know anything about college football, the Army-Navy game is like the most regal one, the prestige. Like just to me, that is Americana. It's once a year. It's always in late November or December. And Grandpa Rocky was 92 at the time or 91. He said, oh, guys, this was great. We should watch the playoffs and the Super Bowl. We should watch the Army-Navy game here every year. Well, he didn't live to the next one. He died before we got to the next one, the next November, which was last November. And that's how life is. You don't know when it's the last one. There will be a last birthday, a last Super Bowl, a last Christmas. And every relationship you have, you will leave each other. You will die and leave them, or they will die and leave you. Every relationship you have. That's how precious it is. So don't waste another day. You're capable of everything and anything. It's a lot of hard work and consistency over the years. But if one man can do it, any man can do it. And ladies too. But really, like, don't waste another second because you don't know when that last Army-Navy game is coming. You know? I really think, I've been through so much. It's been 3 years come mid-October, I think October 12th or 13th, when I humiliated DC Comics in the media. I was global news for like 2-3 days, literally global news, how I just mocked them for their social justice nonsense they were trying to get me to do with the comics. And and I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. And I've been through so much because of that. I did an Indiegogo and my partner ripped me off for tens of thousands of dollars. And I had to rebuild from that and doing the stuff with Dean and all the challenges and learning to run a business, learning to be a publisher and all this stuff. And I'm happy for it. I'm happy for all the challenges. Let me look at the comments right here real quick. Gabe, I understand you're making comic books and everything. Do you plan to have like shops as well to sell the comic books? And because I'm craving a good comic book right now. My shop is bigmancomics.com. As far as brick and mortar, I don't think so for now. We'll see how it all goes. That is not even something I've thought of. That's a whole other business, running retail and all that. Something I don't have any experience in. So to me, again, that stable, responsible growth, it's one thing at a time. I'm not going to like come out in 6 months or you're going to go, okay, we got a movie, we got a TV show, we got a video game. That would be silly. I'm not going to do that because that's biting off more than you can chew. You got to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. And then if you don't know how to do things, you got to hire people that know how to do them. I've never made a cartoon. Now I know people that animate for a living for Disney and Fox and The Simpsons and all that. And I could hire them in the future, but I'm not going to do the animation. And that all costs money. So we just take it slow. We're going to make it. Just support me, but I'll support you by making stuff that is worth your money, especially in Bidenomics. I got to make sure my stuff is primo because money's tight for a lot of people. I totally get that. So let's see. Yeah, so welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. And Jericho should be here shortly. I don't know where he is, but he was texting us at the beginning of the show saying he was on his way. But, I was going to say one more thought about being grateful. Zippy Unicorn says, Guy, he's talking about Guy Fieri, the Food Network host, is the real deal. I met him in San Francisco in 2000 before he was famous. He was so friendly and gave me his card to his then only 2 restaurants and that he would treat me. Super cool dude. Yeah, I mean, I need a drink because I have the fan blowing on me and I'm talking for 20 minutes here. It gets you a little dry. Guy Fieri's been on TV since 2007. If he was like a jackass phony and he didn't mean all that kindness and support to the mom and pop restaurants, we'd know by now. There's no way he could hide that long if he was a creep. And I love the guy because he loves people. People like people who like people. If you go around the world thinking everyone sucks, you're going to project that subconsciously. People aren't going to like you because they're going to realize you don't like them. That's something I had to work on because I had a negative attitude about a lot of people and this and that. Oh, this guy's probably there. And I've learned now, being a public speaker on YouTube and all the things that I do, you can't have a glass half empty with people. Stop that. So I got a new attitude. Thank you for listening to me glug away there on the water. Lucas Letter, maybe JG got pulled. Oh, let's hope not. Wait a minute. Copy link. Did I ever send him the link, dude? Did I ever send him the link? Because that might be the problem. Maybe he doesn't have the damn link. Here, I'll send him the link again. Oops. No, he didn't text me to say send the link, so he must have the link. I should say link again. I only said it 50 times. I'll talk to you about one more thing, about gratitude and a good attitude. So I was in Las Vegas with my best childhood friends. We're still best friends. It's an awesome weekend. We go Friday. We go shooting on Saturday. We're watching college football on Saturday afternoon and evening. We watched NFL football on Sunday. It was just awesome and a pleasant ride home through the desert on Monday morning. I pulled my calf last week dancing with Big Baby in the garage. And it's the worst I've only hurt my calf once before. And I couldn't straighten my knee because the back of my calf was so tight at the top below my knee. And it would sting. Oh, and I was just like limping. And I would straighten my leg and flex my foot to stretch the calf and all, and pick my knee up and pick my knee up. And I was just, all weekend. And, I asked my wife to pray for me and I started feeling better. But, I was limping around town. And when you're in Las Vegas, you walk miles every day and it hurts every day. Walking around hurt. It hurt to stay and hurt. I'm totally fine now. There's probably 3% of the pain left, just like a little soreness, a little smack on there, but I can totally move now. But I pulled it like dancing in the garage with Big Baby. I was jumping off stuff and doing things. 46 years old. I probably shouldn't be jumping off things. But I'm fine now. But I remember I was sitting in the Circa Casino, which is amazing to watch sports at. I'm sitting there at 1 a.m. with my best friend, and we're just talking about life and family. We're catching up on all this stuff, drama, ideas, philosophy. And a guy walks by with crutches, and I pulled my right calf. And a white guy, like blonde hair, mustache, probably my age, mid-40s, one leg. He is missing the leg that I had sore. And I looked at my friend and said, I don't have any problems. You understand? Like, nope. That guy doesn't even have I thank God I even have a right leg to injure, right? I feel bad for that guy. But, he's tough. He's getting through. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He was out Vegas having a good time. So it was just a reality check there because I was like, in my own head, like, oh, why? Why now? Why when I go on this trip that I planned for 2 months? Why was my leg hurt? And, my wife, we prayed about it and all. And I kid you not, it started to feel better, like right away. And, I'm healed up. So, it was swollen. It hurt. If I sat for a while, then it would be all stiff all over again. And when I got up, it was like, boo. So, but I saw that guy without a leg. And it was just a slap in the face. Like, don't be a crybaby. Don't be feeling sorry for yourself. So that's the catch up on what I've been doing and where I've been. Things are going great comic book wise. I finished the first draft for the plot for Dean Cain All-American Lawman. And this, I'll show you a little behind the scenes. So I'm working on my own cover for Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2. And I started, and this is just a sketch, an ink sketch. I got Dean's likeness pretty good. But I started drawing it, and I did a stupid thing. I didn't measure it out correctly. So the legs are going to be cut off. So I take my blue pencil, and I'm going to ink it, and then I'm going to trace it again on another sheet of paper, but higher, because I want to draw his boots and all that. When I was first decided I was going to cut it off here, then maybe draw city buildings on here, and I didn't care that his legs were cut off. But I drew the legs and the knees and all that so well. Like, I'm so happy with the way that's coming out. I'm like, you know what? I want to go all the way and draw like military boots or some hardcore, cool looking boots. And it's going to go off the page. So I'm going to ink this black. The ink is sloppy and loose, right? But the ink is just guide rails. And I have a giant light tracing table over there. And I'm going to trace this onto another sheet, but move the ink up so I could draw the whole body, then work in this background. You guys are going to love Volume 2. The script is insane fun. It is insane fun. I told you I wanted to do like a crime heist book. I pulled it off. God bless. It's amazing. Let me look at the comments real quick as we wait ever so patiently for our good friend Jericho to come in. Let's see. Michael Coulter says, Gabe, speaking of Joe Biden, did you hear he put on a Trump hat and he was in the same room that Trump was? Did I hear about it? What do you mean he put on a Trump hat? What are you talking about this? Yeah, I heard about it and I loved it. What a great thing. And I watched an even longer video where he asks to put it on, and he didn't seem like he didn't know what he was doing. And, Trump said in that debate last night, and I'll tell you another thing. Kamala, Biden hates her. And I don't doubt it. If he was shoved out by like Pelosi and Obama and Kamala like conspired, because he was running. He's like, I'm running. I ain't dropping out, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden that note drops on Twitter. Is that how Biden does anything? Is that how someone drops out of a presidential thing? He would have called a press conference if that was on him. And so the rumor, I don't know, the rumor is they conspired against him, right? I have no idea. We'll ask Jericho to verify all of this when he comes in, But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I heard about it and I had a great, great belly laugh, Let's see. Let me share this. I love this. I'll open this up. Yeah, I'd like to. This is fantastic, as they say. Right here. I love that photo. That is a beauty to me. That is very, very, very funny. I thought it was Photoshop when I saw it for obvious reasons, but I looked into it a minute later and es verdad, as they say in Spanish. People are saying Trump lost. Heather, Trump lost like if Mike Tyson was fighting an amateur and the referee tied Tyson's legs and arms and blindfold, and then the media says, well, Tyson didn't land a punch. It's obvious to anyone who watched that Kamala's people worked with ABC television to write the questions and answers and set up the organization of the order of the questions and answers and rebuttals to hem Trump in. Think of Kamala like a backup quarterback going into a football game, and she only throws interceptions. And Donald Trump's the greatest defender in the world. He's going to pick off the ball every time, run it back for a touchdown. So what they told Kamala is, you're not allowed to throw the ball. Hand it to the running back every play. So she couldn't throw an interception. So no, Trump didn't lose. He did not lose. Did he lose for 2 hours? Sure. But he lost like Mike Tyson's arms being tied while I'm boxing him. And I've never boxed professionally before. So he didn't lose. You know what I mean? Like that's silly. And it'll cost them because even CNN was destroying ABC and their how biased they were and all that. So the moderators were, I heard something about them being little besties or whatever. But I think it was 1 against 3, and anyone who doesn't have Trump derangement syndrome could see that, obviously, that it was 1 against 3. So who cares? Let them have their little fake victory. Everything with them is fake. Let them pretend. Let them pretend. It'll all be tears for them on November 5th when he sweeps, dude. He's gonna win in a landslide. Are you kidding me? I heard someone say about voting for Kamala that after 4 years of Kamala and Biden, voting for Kamala is like shitting your pants and changing your shirt. That made me LOL when I heard that. I cussed. I was trying not to cuss tonight. So None the Miser says, I think of her as a drunk cheerleader. Hey, come on, None the Miser. Come on, man. That's a little rated R. I can't rate it. I'm trying to keep the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel and the algorithm and all that. You are hilarious. But I can't read that. I'm not telling anyone what to say. I can't rate it though, just because you know how it is. So nothing. That's impersonal. Please stay funny because you're one of the funniest guys in the chat. Heather ain't surprised. Thousands of snakes in one basket. True enough. None the miser. I think of her just the way she's a homewrecker and a family destroyer. All you got to do is ask Willie Brown's wife. Yeah, that's a elefante in the room that nobody talks about there. I don't think that line of attack would work on her. I think if they went after her for dating married men, I think that the fake news media would just, you're a misogynist. They would. I think they would. And I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm saying it's effective persuasion. It is. And persuasion is all that matters, unfortunately. The truth, unfortunately, does not matter when it comes to persuasion. If the truth mattered, Trump would be up 99% to 1. You know what I mean? He'd win all 50 states if the truth mattered. But persuasion is feelings, and a lot of people are fooled by it. So, you know, come on, man, have a good show, man. Yeah. So, we don't. Let me text Jericho. He's quite late now. So let me ask him because I need to get rolling on the movie here. And let me just see. Let me see where he is. Maybe he had to run home, and he had eaten too much Taco Bell before he got home, and he's indisposed. I'm making that up, obviously. I do hope he's all right, because that would be, I hope one of you said he got pulled over and got a ticket. I hope not. It better not be a thing. Better not be. So I just text him. We'll see. We'll see where he is. He's, he's a little late. But, I'll start diving into the movie. That's fine. So John Wick. Here we go. John Wick. Everybody here seen John Wick? It's fantastic. It's absolutely great. Let me open up my John Wick photos. Why the hell is this here? So how does John Wick start? John Wick is the Baba Yaga. He's the ultimate assassin, right? Everyone in the Russian mafia and the whole mafia world, the assassination world, they're all terrified of John Wick. Okay? And see, he just texted me now to email him the link. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hold on. I got to email Jericho the link. Let me open my email. Let's see. Okay. Open the email. Compose. Jericho. Link. Okay. All right. Send. All right. There you go, Jericho. I sent you the link. You could told me that a long time ago. Let's see. I texted to you. I got to email it to you too. Okay. All right. Sent. All right. So I sent it to him. His Majesty needs it emailed instead of texted. I'm not sure why. Text works for me. Let's see. Present screen. Share screen. I'm going to share entire screen. So John Wick, he's an assassin. His wife dies of a horrible disease. What is his wife's name? Like Helen, right? And his wife dies of a horrible disease or something in the hospital. And I don't know a lot of the details, but didn't Keanu Reeves' wife die and a child? I don't know if they died at the same time. Didn't his wife die like in some sort of accident? And maybe she was pregnant. So I do wonder, and I believe that all happened before this movie was made. I do wonder how that would inform something like this. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, 45 minutes late, the one and only Jericho Green.
What's up?
Hey, I thought they sent you the link. Sorry about that, man. So
no, you texted it to me.
That doesn't work for you? Oh, is your text not connected to your computers or anything? Or
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I'm an Apple guy, and everything you text to my phone goes to my Mac and my iPad.
Oh, so. I'm not an Apple guy.
Okay. I have an Apple, and I have a PC. Remember those commercials?
Yeah, I do.
So, how are you? How are things?
Cool. Another great football practice.
Good.
Kids are focusing on defense today. It's looking good. Feel sorry for our next
opponent. Getting cocky. What is your son's team's mascot?
Oh, unfortunately, it's the Raiders.
Oh, I was going to say, dude, if it's the Raiders.
Yeah, and the last weekend I was like, "Go Raiders!" I've never said those words ever in my life. So
my son's first team in Pop Warner style football was the Bengals. We practiced at Bittersweet Park, so we were the Bittersweet Bengals, and we were undefeated. Yeah. Then we came to California, and he was a Tory for the rest of his life. The Tories are Torrey Pines, where Tiger Woods, it's his home golf course. Torrey Pines is one of the most famous golf courses. And a Torrey Pine is a type of tree. So my son was a tree for the rest of his football career. So not exciting, but they won a lot of championships.
Yeah, not an exciting mascot, but that's okay. They won. Yeah, my son, unfortunately, his team name is the Raiders. And this shit, what a tard.
Go ahead with the son. I was just having a laugh.
But the only game they lost last season was against the Raiders. And now he plays for them because they have like a draft. So he got drafted by that team. So yeah, I guess if you can't beat them, join them.
I remember I was the coach of the Bengals. We went undefeated. We allowed, now I know it's 8-year-old football. Everybody keep your shirt on. We allowed 3 touchdowns all season. That's the kind of defensive coach I am, damn it.
Oh, damn, they shut him down.
We blew everyone out in the water. And I remember there was another team, the Ravens, and they were the kicking post of the league. Everyone kicked the Ravens around. And one of the dads of the Ravens came up to me after the game. He said, "Are you going to be coaching here next year? I want my son on your team. Wherever you coach, you got these kids squared away." And I did. I'm a great coach because I had an amazing coach growing up. We won the championship when I was in high school, sophomore, senior year. Rancho Bernardo High School is a great program for football. They won championships after I left. You know the movie Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill about the Oakland A's? What's that called? Moneyball?
Yeah.
The high school in that book and the high school in that movie, the factory they call it, that's my high school. Rancho Bernardo High School has sent so many people to Major League Baseball because we had this coach for like 25 years, Coach Blaylock. Both of his sons were in the MLB. So many kids. So I went to like a very good public school that was like elite at sports. So I really learned great coaching culture. So when I coached my kids, I did the exact things my high school coach. So we had this.
Oh, yeah.
We had this clap up. I'd have the kids frothing at the mouth by the time we were done.
Yeah.
And they're ready to run through a wall and they're screaming and laughing. And that's what our coach did for us. It was such a great thing to teach little boys that they could just be more than they ever dreamed if they're not afraid, if they play through the fear. So, football all the way. Couldn't recommend it more. Love it for all little kids.
So. It's great. No tackle for him yet because he's only 8.
All right.
He's loving it.
I mean, my son started tackle at 8, so.
I started at 9.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Lucas Letter says, not us. All they did was lose and crack the ish out of other teams. Still win in my book. Yeah, it isn't about winning and losing, if we're being honest. I hate admitting that. It is about just giving your all, and then the results are whatever the results are. As long as you give your all and you gave your all and you can really say it was everything you had, that's a win. It really is. Because you cannot control the outcomes of things. You can only control your effort. So, that's the honest truth. I hate saying that because we all want to just believe winning and losing is all that matters. So, let's see. Is the 4th John Wick movie worth watching? I didn't watch it. I liked the first 3, but is the 4th one good? I didn't watch it.
I didn't like it. Man, I didn't like it. It was just, there's one scene with the set of stairs, this huge, long set of stairs. It just went on too long. No, I did not like the 4th one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this one is the best one.
It is fantastic. Real quick, Heather, boiling hot Lake Havasu. She asked, why Texas? Why? ¿Por qué Texas, Jericho? Would it be Jericho? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Calor como Arizona. Hot as F, like Arizona. Why Texas?
Well, in Texas, nowhere is hot as Arizona.
Right.
And I live where it's hot now. So,
right.
I mean, maybe, right. I don't know if they have humidity or whatever, but it can't be any fucking hotter than it gets here. And we have family there. So that helped with our decision. And
that's right. You told me that George W. Bush and them, they're like second cousins of yours.
Yeah. Well, more like kissing cousins.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
We're
gonna go live next door to the Bushes. But yeah, just lower cost of living, good schools, good things going on in the schools, nothing weird and fucking crazy. And my daughter's dealing with that more because she's in junior high. So, it's more prevalent there, and we just don't like it. We don't like what we're seeing. We see the writing on the wall. And I think anybody who would have this happening to their kids would definitely take that into consideration into moving. You know, some people's kids, like your kids are older. You don't got to worry about that shit. But my kids are right in the thick of it. So
they're right in that age where they could be brainwashed if Jericho doesn't watch it.
I don't want my daughter coming home, you know, believing some bullshit because of her friends or something her stupid ass teacher
and then,
said.
If you don't go along with the what we will call on YouTube the philosophy, California has a law that the state will do something to you, Jericho, if you don't go along with the philosophy. Jericho, I want your opinion on this before we move on to John Wick. I saw this. I could not believe it. It is absolutely real. What
it is.
This makes me so happy, this image, because it's so ridiculous.
It's perfect. This is Sloppy Joe. I mean, first of all, I'm glad to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. Right. But this is perfect. This is his presidency. This is him in one picture. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, here you go. This is, what an idiot. Why would you put that hat on? Your vice president is running against this guy for president. So come up with some playful way. Oh, no, that's okay. You got a Harris hat there? Something like that. But you don't put the guy who your vice president is running against hat on your head, even if it's a joke, you idiot. So this is perfect. This is perfect. What a dummy. Of course, Sloppy Joe would put on Trump 2024.
But don't you think he hates Kamala because they shoved him out? Everyone knows they shoved him out.
For sure. He hates her and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and a whole bunch of them. But this is perfect. Sloppy Joe putting on a Trump 2024 hat. I don't think he has the presence of mind or the faculties to do this as a screw you to the people who pushed him out. I think he just a lapse in judgment, a brain fart.
I'm no neurologist, but I do think whatever's going on in his head, doesn't that stuff, if he has dementia, I'm not saying he has it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving him a diagnosis over the air. But doesn't it kind of come and go? They're lucid. They're not lucid. They're here. They're not here. Like he could have moments, and this is the middle of the morning, the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Because they say it's worse at night for people that have dementia, right? It's sundowning.
Well, if you go to bed at 4, the middle of the day is pretty fucking close to bedtime. And we know we're not doctors here, but he did have 3 aneurysms and an embolism. That's a lot.
I feel like that's not good for you.
Not good for your brain.
No, that's bad for your brain. And I'll say that without being a doctor.
Yeah. And they took the top of his head off. So your like brain, I know operating rooms are sterile, but like your brain was in the open air for a while. So
I don't know. I feel like he did this and he knew what he was doing for 15 minutes during the day. He knew where he was. And I feel like this is my brother. I was talking to my brother Abe on the phone this afternoon. And he's told me, what if the October surprise is this mofo, Grandpa Corn Pop? He drops a dime on Kamala and all her secret scandals and all that.
Oh, man.
He blows her out as a party middle finger because of what she did to move him out of the race. What if that's my brother told me that? It's too good to be true. It probably will not happen, but I would love that if that happened. That would be hilarious.
That would be more than hilarious. But if your brain is sitting out in the open, that can't be good because it's not even good for potato salad.
Right.
You don't want your potato salad sitting out uncovered for too long. So you certainly don't want your brain out there.
Well, what if, now it's a big what if when they opened his head with the craniectomy, this guy was in charge of putting everything back?
Yeah. What was the name on the brain?
Abby Normal. It was Abby Normal.
Abby something. Abby Normal. He was so nonchalant about it. He was just like, what's the big deal? It was Abby something. You said Abby, actually supposed to be Hans Delbruck. That's whose brain was supposed to be. But he said Hans, Abby,
what would be the greatest
I brought you a brain.
What if so they opened Biden's head, they pull the brain out, and they put the wrong brain in. Whose brain would you want in there if they put the wrong brain in? What would be the best brain to put in there?
I mean, on a serious note, probably
now what show are you on? Of course, not serious.
I was gonna say, I put like a wrestler. I put like Hulk Hogan's brain in there from the '80s, or like Macho Man Randy Savage. At least he'll be able to get everybody pumped, and he'll be able to like get through a speech and stuff like that. That'd be fun to have.
Oh goodness! And speaking of Hulk Hogan, here he is, folks, the #1 sponsor for Double Impact from Clearwater, Florida himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the king of the semolina flour. Hulkster, how you doing?
I'm great, brother.
Now, what would happen if your brain got stuck inside President Biden's body and you were the ruler of America? You were the chief executive. What would be your first official act as chief executive of not just Pastamania, but America?
First thing I do, brother, is go to the gym, start doing some of those curls, brother, get those 24-inch pythons back, not these old man liver spotted varicose spaghetti that's hanging off of this guy here, brother. I'd hit the gym, I'd take some vitamins, brother, I'd say some prayers, and I'd get in front of that microphone and I'd get America pumped up. I say, I'm talking to you, Mr. Putin. I'm talking to you, Xi Jinping. I'm talking to you, Kim Jong-un. The Hulkster is in the White House. I'm not taking it, brother. And I'd grab Kamala by that disgusting face of hers, brother. And I'm like, I'm going to show you guys what's going to happen to you, brother, if you don't get back in line, brother.
Now, how do you, now hold on.
Red and yellow Harley, brother, across the ocean. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to leg drop you, brother. Come here, Kamala. And I'd leg drop that whore in front of the whole world, brother.
God, that would be a crazy first 24 hours. Now, your brain is inside Corn Pop Biden, but his brain is inside your body running Pastamania. How would that look?
I wouldn't eat that pasta, brother. He's probably grabbing cat shit and everything and throwing it in there, brother. He doesn't know the recipe, can't read it, can't remember, brother. If that brain switch were to happen, brother, do not go to Pastamania, brother.
Right. It would be an absolute disaster if Pastamania was
you get diarrhea, brother.
Do you think that Biden would just, open like the open border? Do you think he would leave Pastamania unlocked 24 hours a day?
He'd leave the doors wide open, brother. I'd come in the next morning, to check my semolina flour levels and get that pasta ready. We make it fresh every day here, brother. And I'd go in there. I'd find him on the floor crying and shitting, brother.
I don't doubt it. Well, I'm glad we don't have to find out what that nightmare's like, and your brain is safely intact in your head. And whatever in Joe Biden's head is probably going to stay there for the rest of his life.
Probably more like an oatmeal or something, brother, swimming around in that full skull, brother.
Well, he's only got a few more months as president. How much more damage can he really do?
Oh, hope we don't find out, brother.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you're a big supporter of Mr. Trump. And we thank you for speaking at the RNC. And we thank you for all your support here. Guys, Tuesday night, Kids Eat Free. You got any parting words for the people about Pastamania? Or are you out of here, Hulkster?
As always, brother, kids eat free at Pastamania, and everybody eats free on November 5th, brother.
All right. Pastamania, everyone. There he goes, the Hulkster. All right. We should have asked him what his debate strategy would have been.
I would love to see him just grab Kamala and fucking leg drop her live.
Well, didn't he fight a wrestler named Kamala? There was a guy named Kamala who was a wrestler.
Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I get it from.
There you go.
He was a crazy looking dude. He looked like what the inside of her head is. He was fucking crazy. Oh, yeah.
All right. So John Wick, we agree. The first movie's amazing. We love it. He's in his awesome home and he's having his memories of his beautiful wife, Helen. And, she dies of some horrible disease. Or I don't remember what she dies of. Oh, okay. Well, that's as horrible as it gets, I suppose.
Yep.
He buries her and he wants to retire, right? Right.
He is retired.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
He is retired. He's chilling.
He wanted to retire and get married, and then they sent him on this impossible mission, and he completed the mission, then ended up getting married.
That got him his freedom from the the what do they call it? The outfit organization.
Right.
Whatever, that council of killers. Right. So that's how he got his freedom, and he was married. Everything is going good, and you see in the flashbacks, they have these very well placed flashbacks, and you see they're at somewhere on in New York, where like on the edge of the Hudson River, some people walk and they lean on the handrail and shit.
Right.
And she collapses out of nowhere.
Right.
And so then that's how they find out. And unfortunately, it's probably how a lot of people find out. So they pass out, something happens. The high table, thank you.
Thank you,
And
Hardy.
we don't hear about the high table until like the third one.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, one thing, let me just stop you there. As a writer myself, one of the things that John Wick does that is beautiful, and I've talked about this, J.J. Abrams, the movie writer director, talks about the concept called the mystery box. And the easiest example of it is the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. You know the glowing briefcase?
Yeah.
They never say and they never show. And that's how you have to do it. And John Wick does so much lore that way, where what you do when you do the briefcase with the golden glow and you never address it, you never say what it is, you let the reader's imagination fill it in perfectly with emotion and abstract thought. And John Wick masterfully does that in their stories, where it's the high table and they have this rule and that rule and they have that continental hotel where assassins can't fight and blah, but they give you just enough to keep you thrilled and interested and like, ooh, what is this? But they're smart enough not to show you most of it. It's kind of like women and lingerie and low lighting. You don't want dental operating room lighting. I'm just telling you, you don't want that when you're with your lady in the lingerie. You don't want the floodlights. You want some mystery. You know, you want to fill in the blanks. You know,
man, I'll fill them in.
Yeah,
I'm filling in all the blanks.
You want to fill in the gaps yourself. You know,
what I'm
saying. But yeah. But I think John Wick is a masterclass in that concept.
Yeah.
You know, and you always ruin it when you explain it. Think about in the first Star Wars, 1977, awesome movie, Obi-Wan tells Luke, I fought with your father in the Clone Wars. 1977, they said that shit and they never told you what it was. And I guarantee you the writer, George Lucas, didn't know what the Clone Wars were when he wrote it, because I do stuff like that when I write things. And it's fun. And you let the reader imagine whatever they want. Then they go on to make the Clone Wars movies and the TV show, and they're fine, but they don't live up to you just imagining what it could be. And again, I think John Wick nails the concept of the mystery box. I do. There's so much stuff that they just don't tell you what it is, and that's so much fun. They give you just enough. You get a whiff of it. You know, you get a whiff, and you're like, I wonder. And then it's awesome to just leave it at that. You know, so.
Yeah, just giving you little bits and pieces of his past.
Right.
And it doesn't really show you what he did in his past. It just shows you moments with his wife to, you know, humanize him.
Right.
You see him wake up, and I like how they give him the sterile contemporary house. You know, everything is like white and sharp edges, and nothing's comfortable and fluffy. You know, it's very sterile. I like that. Nice view. I bet that house is fucking millions. This has got to be, you know, outside of New York City, you know, whatever the fuck that's called. But it's outside of the city, multi-million-dollar home. So he's done well for himself. He's good at what he does. And so now they're going to give you flashbacks of how he ended up alone in this palatial estate. Yep.
Alone. Wife dies. Helen dies. He goes to funeral.
That's the moment she dies.
Right.
That's the moment, like, she, you know, flatlines, kisses her.
And there's his mentor, the Green Goblin himself, Willem Dafoe, great actor.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. He's John Wick's mentor. They have a little chit chat at the funeral and this and that. And he adopts a dog, a puppy named Daisy, right? And Daisy was said to be.
His wife got the dog and had it delivered the day of her funeral.
Oh, okay.
Before she died.
That's right.
Just to fucking make it hurt even more.
Oh, look at that thing.
Yeah, come on, a puppy. And what a juxtaposition. You know, this savage, scarred up, bullet wound ridden killer, and this little innocent, you know, what are we going to do today? You know, puppy with its puppy breath.
Do you trust anyone that doesn't like dogs?
No, that's some weird shit, man.
No, you can't not like dogs.
And just like people that don't like kids, like I understand you might not want to be around them, and yeah, they can, you know, be loud and obnoxious and scream and shit, but like to not like kids, like, what's up? How many did you bury under the basement? Tell me.
Right. Yeah. Like, people are like, kids don't belong in the movie theater, airplanes. Hey, I got an idea. Fuck you forever. How's that sound?
Yeah. How the fuck am I supposed to get?
All you people that don't like kids at restaurants, you were a kid and you did cry in public. It's okay. And you know who's the big crybaby? The adult complaining about a baby. That's the actual crybaby, not the baby crying. Ugh,
how the fuck am I supposed to get?
Yeah, they're disgusting. That's a disgusting way to be.
How am I supposed to get to New York for a funeral with my kids You know, I think I'm gonna fucking take a road trip and drive 2,500 miles.
And then these ignoramuses will say, why does the parent control them? Oh, that's right. The parent wants the kid to be screaming. I forgot. The parent loves it like it's a symphony of music.
It whispered in the baby's ear every night before we went to bed, be an asshole on the plane.
You tell the baby,
finally,
louder. I know you have more than that.
Come on. Dig deep, my son. Scream. Like, come on. And if the kids are of a certain age and they're just little shits, that's the parents' fault, because you do have, they have more understanding, and they're little kids, like, 5, 6 years old. They know what the fuck's up. But if they're little kids or a baby, there ain't shit you can do. If the kid's like 2 and under, there's nothing you can do. They don't understand.
They don't understand anything. Ugh.
They can't. But if your kid's like 8 or 9 and he's being a little shit, kicking somebody's chair, that's your fault as a parent. You suck. You fail because you can control that kid to a certain extent. But yeah, when it's a baby, what the fuck do you want him to do? Fucking cover the baby's mouth? You got any chloroform? You got any infant chloroform so I can knock this kid out for all you strangers on the plane? Kiss my ass.
Think about what you think about. He says he doesn't trust people who love cats. I abhor cats. I hate cats with a passion. And if someone has a cat, that's fine. But we all know cat people.
Yeah.
And there's that, I think it's some sort of bacteria or virus called toxicoglondi or Gandhi or something like that cats have. And it infests the brains of cat owners and it changes their behavior to be cat-like. Kind of narcissistic, aloof people that act like, I am not making this up. It's toxoplasma Gondi, something. Look this up. I've known this for years. But I always thought cat people, like cat people, I always thought they were kind of jerks. And it turns out there's science behind it. So don't have a cat. They're awful. Terrible cat.
I think people who allow their cats to scratch them and are just like, oh, well, he scratched me. That's fucking weird. Because nothing that I provide shelter or food for or whatever is going to assault me, bite me, scratch me.
Right.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to smack the shit out of that cat. And if this becomes a problem, guess who's finding a new house? Meow if you're finding a new house. Meow, that's right.
Yeah, and cats hurt.
Get the fuck out of here.
They're not man's best friend. They're not lovable. They seem like little weird narcissists. I don't like
cats are dicks. Whatever, if you have one, I don't care, but I don't want a cat in the house. Cats are cool outside.
I live near a canyon and there's nature, and you got to watch out for rats and mice and all that because I live near a lot of nature. I would like a cat on my property. Never come in my house. We don't talk. The cat, he and I don't see him. I'll leave you water, milk, some cat food. Kill any mice or rats you see on my property. Yeah. That cat, I'm cool with the barn cat. Like an urban, suburban.
An outside cat. A fucking outside cat.
But I don't want to see him. I don't want to see you, Mr. Felix, whatever your name is, but just do your job. All the mice you can eat.
If it rains, there'll be something you can get under to stay dry.
Yeah.
But man, you're outside, I'm inside. The only time we're going to talk is on the first day.
I don't like you.
First day. You
don't like me.
We're providing each other a service. I'm providing you shelter and food. You provide dead rodents.
Heather loves cats. Now, Heather, I will allow it if you also love dogs. Yeah, if you love dogs, I will allow it.
Cats are cool. I had outside cats growing up. We had a bunch of property. And I go outside, I pet them, I play with them. I like to watch them hunt and shit like that, wait over a gopher hole, for however long it took. Great. But cats are dicks. And if one ever scratched me or bit me, we have a problem. It's like if I had a dog and it bit me, dude, I'm going to punch that dog in the face.
Right. Yeah, I think, you take a walk in the neighborhood and some people have a monster. The giant pit bull Rottweiler. And I'm like,
yeah,
it should be illegal to own that in the city.
I don't like pit bulls.
There's 30-pound, 25-pound little toddlers. Like, you should not have that near your neighbors. That's very selfish. I go for a walk with my wife and, I have a big walking stick that I have, and I'm prepared. I'll say it that way because I've seen neighbors that have giant monster dogs. And I see the neighbor, 110-pound lady, pulling the giant pit bull thing and she can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, that's not right to have that on your neighbors, dude.
Yeah, if it does, if it tries anything, I'll fucking
You told me about that
Fucking
time
dog
when you
up.
were hiking with your son and the lady didn't have some
Yeah.
monster on a leash.
She had the dog off a fucking leash, and the dog crouched down. We all have a little
In the attack
caveman in us.
position.
We all know what it means when an animal, predator type animal, crouches down, the hair on its back, all the way up its back,
right
from the back of its head all the way down its tail. There's a strip of hair that is up, and it's growling. And I have my son with me, and he's probably 5 years old at the time. And I had my my backpack, and I always have a pocket knife. And I put my arm through the backpack, my left arm, like it was a shield. And then I took my pocket knife out because the dog, it was all happy and shit with her. And then when it saw me, that's when it got down in its,
I think the dog was
offensive
racist.
position. Well, the dog was black too, so I couldn't say that.
Oh wow, he's a self-hating racist.
Yeah, he's an Uncle Tom fucking dog. And the lady was just like, "Oh, he's nice." And this is after he's like growling, "Oh, he's nice, bitch. I don't know your dog." And I told her these exact words. I said, "Get your dog, or I'm gonna kill it." I was gonna fucking end that dog right there in front of that soon-to-be screaming lady. That it's a wrap. And my son was standing behind me. There's no fucking way this dog is getting anywhere near my son. There's no way this dog, if it tries to attack, is leaving this scenario alive. And I don't give a fuck. And that's what I told her. Get your dog, or I'm gonna kill it. And she was like, he's not gonna do anything. How the fuck am I supposed to know? He didn't run up to me wagging his tail with his tongue out. He didn't come up to me acting like a 90s movie fucking golden retriever where it always starts with everybody getting ready in the morning. He didn't come at me like that. He fucking crouched down, like in that low, about to pounce position, hair up his back, baring his teeth. Check, and check.
Let me guess. She did not look like she had the musculature to handle this thing if it wanted to go psycho.
No,
right?
This dog wanted to go nuts. There's nothing that lady could do. She's probably like in her mid-50s, slender build. She wasn't going to do shit.
No, I saw some hippie lady in my neighborhood carrying, pulling along some mixed thing that the big fat pit bull head, and it was big, like an 80-pound dog, and it yanked her, and she could barely hold on.
Dude, an 80-pound dog is straight muscle, and it sounds like it's just 80 pounds, but that is a handful.
Oh, that might as well be a 200-pound man.
Might
as well be.
Fucking crazy. But if that lady couldn't control that dog, trust me, I was going to control.
You shouldn't own things like that in city limits. That's crazy. Yeah, it's not right. There are children everywhere, dude. What are you going to be sorry?
What are you going to?
You're going to be sorry when it eats your face?
Sorry that your dog ripped my kid's face off, or even worse, killed my kid. Right. Now I'm going to shoot your dog for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't know why people have those monsters. Oh, my dog's the sweetest. Yeah, until it isn't.
Yeah. Until I look at it the wrong way, until it catches a fucking whiff of something. Or I approach it. Oh no, don't approach it from behind at a 45-degree angle.
Like on Tuesdays at noon,
Fuck, you're a fucking beast.
Shrapnel says he wants a Belgian Malinois, aka a meat missile. So everyone knows Shrapnel wants a meat missile, in case you're wondering.
Thought you had one. Oh, the dog. Well, I'll tell you what, Shrapnel, if you're serious about doing that, shoot me an email, jerichogreen2018@gmail.com. I have a friend of mine. His name's Phil, and he works for Braven Canine Training. These guys train dogs for special forces, SWAT teams, police forces, shit like that. Like really elite, high-end training. Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherds, and German Shepherds are the only dogs that they work with. And Phil was a trainer of theirs for like 15 years. And he has Belgian Malinois of his own. And I think he has 2. And I did an interview with him on my other channel, Green's House, name drop. And I talked to him for about an hour and a half just about the science behind it and how he got into it and some of the shit he's done. And dude, crazy shit. So if you're serious about getting a dog like that, because that's exactly what it is. It's a weapon. Those dogs are fucking insane. They are fast, they are strong, and when they're focused, they are fucking vicious. I'm not saying they're bad dogs to get, but those dogs require an immense amount of training. So if you're serious about it and you want to pull the trigger on that, shoot me an email. I'll get you in touch with Phil, and he'll let you know what's up.
Cool. Phil, the dog trainer. Lucas Letterly, my ex-girlfriend, she's his ex, brought a stray 95-pound pit home, and it started staring at the bed in the bedroom when I would get into bed with her. Scary shit, called animal control, dog gone immediately. And
Yeah,
she's his
dude.
ex, so girlfriend gone immediately too.
Yeah, but, hey, do you guys take girlfriends?
So I got 2 bitches at my house. One's an
Yeah.
actual bitch and one's my girlfriend.
You decide. But both
Yeah.
of these bitches need to go. You
Yeah.
idiot. Yeah, that's fucking insane, man. That's like that video of that little girl holding a dead squirrel, showing it to her mom, and her mom's like, "What the fuck? Put that down!" Like you don't even know what you're holding. You don't even know what you're bringing home. Right now. This, like, what are you doing? Hell no.
There was another Belgian Malinois in John Wick 4. I haven't seen John Wick 4. I will see it just to complete. I heard they're going to make a John Wick 5, even though spoiler. If you don't want to know something about John Wick 4, spoiler. Okay, you warned. He dies in John Wick 4, so I guess they'll bring him back. Or will they replace Keanu with a strong, independent black queen? We'll see.
Neither, please. But yeah, in part 3, that's the one with Halle Berry. She has 2 of them. Those dogs are crazy. So yeah, that's what you're getting. You're getting a deadly weapon.
I love dogs. I love them. I've always had dogs, but I live near other houses, so I think it's irresponsible to have a dog that could hurt anyone. So I just, I don't have those kind. I don't believe in people having them in the city limits. You got a farm, you got acres, you're out there, whatever. Have whatever you want. But in the city, come on, man. You got to be smarter than that. It's not, I don't think it's right. So, because there's no oops. There's no, oh, I'm sorry if it kills or hurts a kid. That's not, you can't be sorry. There's no, and I don't, when the dog's an idiot. It's a dog. It doesn't know any better. It's just like living a dog life. And kids, when I was a little kid, I was 4 or 5. My uncle and aunt had boxers. They look like pit bulls. They always has boxers. They had a boxer named Momi Leilani, Hawaiian name, because they lived in Hawaii at the time. Momi was a mean dog and always barked at everyone. I did not like that dog. When I was 4 or 5, I put my nose on Momi's nose and pressed on it and went, because I was 4. Yeah. And it didn't bite me, but it backed up and snapped its mouth and scared me away. I could be living with like giant scars on my face right now, or dead, because it's a dog. It doesn't know better. I didn't know better. I was 4 or 5. I was very little, but I actually remember it. I do remember that moment. So yeah, I got yelled at, and rightly so. You shouldn't do that. On the other hand, how am I doing that? And where are the adults now? Why am I alone with a boxer when I'm 4 or 5? Why am I allowed to be alone with a thing like that? So I don't know. You have to ask my mom and aunt and uncle. I don't know.
There's no amount of I'm sorry. He's never done this before. He's so sweet. He like my 2-year-old would ride him like a bull and pull on his ears. Like there's no amount of that shit to turn the clock back after something is done.
Yeah. So thank God Momi did not eat my face. It wasn't Momi. That was the one they had in middle school. It was Buddy. Buddy was my uncle's original boxer. It was Buddy that snapped.
Buddy was a dick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
My aunt had a tiny little chocolate brown, that exact color. Same aunt that had the boxer. She had a zoo at her house, cats, dogs, all kinds of things. She had a chocolate brown Chihuahua named Peevis Ann. I don't even know what kind of name that is. Peevis. And she said it was piss and vinegar was what Peevis meant. And that dog, 3-pound dog, was the biggest asshole in the universe. I think a blue whale's asshole is like 6 feet tall or, radius. That is the only asshole bigger than Peevis Ann on Earth. Okay? This little fucker would bite you, bite everyone, yell at bark at everyone, except my aunt. My aunt would hold it, and then it was to everyone. And
fucking slap that.
I hated that dog so bad, and I was a little kid too. I wanted to get that dog so bad when I was a kid, because I wasn't afraid of it. It was a little 3-pound dog, but it was such a little jerk with his little needle teeth. It would bite everyone. What a creep!
Fucking smack that thing.
I wonder if Peevis went to dog hell.
Peevis is running dog hell.
So anyway,
everybody in line.
Anyway, that was Dog Talk on a Wednesday night.
Arr, arr.
Who let the dogs out on a Wednesday night?
On 102.4, The Bar. Arr.
got 102.3 and 102.4.
Yeah,
Wouldn't their
so there's
signals
two
like
totally
just
different.
interfere?
You got to get it
with each-
right. It's like one of those where you're riding. It's like dusk, and the
Right.
stations are coming in and out. Yeah, man, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
They're bleeding into each other.
102.4 the bark.
The bark. Yeah. What do you want to do? It's always the something. The beat.
Out with the moon, late nights on 102.4 the bark.
Oh. Brought to you by Petco. Everything's pet sponsors. It's all pet based. A very niche radio station, but it's starting to pick up.
Anyway, Juan Wick, his wife dies tragically of cancer.
Juan Wick.
He gets the small, cutie little dog.
Yeah, Daisy.
Right.
Little, what are those dogs called? Beagles?
Yeah.
Little beagle puppy.
Adorable little dog.
Yeah, one of the cuter things on
it. Michael Coulter says he wants a German Shepherd dog. That's what I want. Yeah.
Same to you, Michael Coulter. Hit me up. They train those too. And those are
cool.
very serious animals.
So Senor Wick, he's out driving his badass 69 Mustang. Just a gorgeous vehicle. And he runs into these Russian gangsters. And that's the son of the big Russian gangster in the area. He was also the kid he was on Game of Thrones. He was one of the major characters. He was like the cousin of the Stark family or whatever. And he wants this car. And he's like, no, man, I ain't selling you this car. I ain't giving you this car. Like these they're young guys. It's the younger generation.
20-somethings.
Right. So they're the young, entitled, they have money, but they haven't done the work and been in the mafia all these decades, like their fathers and uncles, all that. Yeah. So he's being brash and reckless and stupid. So he says, no car for you. And they follow him home, beat his ass, steal his car, and kill his little puppy that his dead wife gave him.
That arrived on the day of her funeral. So he comes from the depths, and then that dog brings him back. It's like Man on Fire. You know, that PETA, she showed him it's okay to love. It's okay to be vulnerable. Yeah. You know, one of the characters says that to him later on. But he goes to the gas station. These guys pull up, bumping into some fucking rap music, all this cussing and shit. You know, young punks. And like you said, they're used to getting what they want. So he figures, I'll throw some money at this fucking stranger. They'll give me their car. And that's it, because I like it. I want it. You know, this is Baruch assault. Daddy, I want a golden egg now. I want a goose now. So this is, you know, him being a little shit and getting what he wants. And John Wick tells him it's not for sale. And he tells him everything in Russian. He tells him everything has a price, bitch. And then he tells him in Russian, not this bitch. And he's like, what the fuck? And then his homeboy comes up and like, no, it's okay. And they pull him back. He's like, fuck you. And he goes, sorry, sir, you have a nice day. And like, but he kind of looks at him. Like he smiles and the smile goes away. And he looks at him all serious. But it's John Wick. Fuck these punks. I don't know about them.
And they don't know who they're messing with.
They have no idea who they're fucking with.
Right.
And so he goes home that night. They follow him home. The puppy, he's sleeping and the puppy barks. So he thinks, because earlier the puppy ran he opened the door and the puppy took off. He's like, hey, wait. And he's like, oh, the dog was taking a shit. Oh, yeah. Bathroom. So the dog wakes him up, barks in the middle of the night. And he thinks, oh, shit, she has to go poop again. So he kind of has his guard down. He's thinking, you know, and he's half asleep. He's like, fuck, got to take the dog out.
Yeah, because he's out of the life. He's not an assassin anymore. He probably hasn't had any trouble in a few years. And those were just weirdos at the gas station. He doesn't see this coming, you know. And
when he comes downstairs, like you see one of them like standing, you know, a nightmare for anybody at home, like to come downstairs and see a stranger standing in the door, like crazy shit. So he sees him, he's like, what the fuck? Boom, somebody comes up behind them, smacks him with a bat. They all have bats. And then they start kicking the shit out of him, like kicking him in the face with dress shoes and shit. They're stomping him the fuck out. He sees he's kind of like passing out, and he sees the dog like try to run away. He goes, shut that dog up. And he grabs the dog, and you see him like stomp on it. But it's kind of blurred. You know, they don't really show you. You hear the dog cry out. And then what's fucked up is he says something to him. I can't remember what he said to him. Like, take this bitch or whatever, some shit. He calls him a bitch again, you know, continuing the little conversation from the gas station. And boom, hits him with a bat. He goes out. Then when he wakes up, he's coming to, and the scene opens on this trail of blood. And the puppy was still alive. It crawled to him because he's laying out on the floor. And the puppy crawls to him and dies right next to him.
Right. So whoever wrote this, they kill the wife, Then they brutally kill the dog.
Dude.
This is hell. This is terrible.
Fuck.
This is terrible.
Like life just said, here, John Wick, stand up, spread your legs, and just kicks him in his nuts.
Right.
One more time.
Yes, but they go and get the best kicker in the NFL to kick him.
Oh, yeah.
Not just anyone.
Janikowski.
Janikowski with the steel toe boot. 1998 Janikowski, by the way. Prime Janikowski.
And what's his name? Adam Vinatieri as backup.
Jason Elam, record holder for a while.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Jason something?
The Broncos had the record for field goals from two different kickers. First, it was Jason Elam. Then it was the guy in the mid-early 2000s. Then he set the record. And someone like on the Packers and Lions has the record now for the longest kick. But all those guys with steel-toe boots right in the gonads.
In your sack. What's that little Greek dude, that little Greek kicker? Started with a G.
I forgot his name. He was on the Redskins.
He hurt himself celebrating a kick.
Right.
Like somebody you guys know, it's like Grappolo.
Justin Tucker.
Shit. Yeah, Justin Tucker for sure.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was like a Grenat, I don't know, some Greek name. But there's like a line. His son's even a badass kicker in college now. But yeah,
Martin Gramatica.
Gramatica, there you go. Yeah. But there's another one. Is it Gramatica?
Garo Yepremian. He was a kicker in the 70s for the Dolphins.
But these dudes are like consistently great for fucking Janikowski played for like 20 years or some shit.
Yeah.
These guys are like great for decades. But no, it's another fucking Greek name, I think. And the dude hurt himself celebrating a kick that he made. He's like jumping up in the air and he like blew out his ACL or some shit. But these dude, just life just keeps fucking here you go. So the puppy dies and he notices it, pets it, you see him realize, oh, it's dead. And the way they cut the scene, it's like, oh, sad shit, boom, silence. Now we're outside burying the dog. And it's quiet, somber. Yeah. Like the music was almost building in the scene before, and then boom, cuts off, silence. We got a little tiny box with the puppy inside of it. We're putting it in a hole that we dug. And then he goes to, he knows his car's gone because he knows who these little bastards are. He goes to drive his other SUV, and they flatten the tires and put a bat through the windshield. Yeah. So now he has to take the bus. So John Wick's on the bus. He goes to a body shop where he knows criminals, will take cars to get new VIN numbers and shit.
Well, first the criminals go to the body shop and get chewed out.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Aurelio or John Leguizamo, but I think it's Aurelio. And he's like, do you know whose effing car you idiots stole? And they don't care. They're aloof. They're
some nobody.
Children. Yeah, some loser, some dumbass with a puppy. Oh, we killed the puppy too. And they don't care.
By the way, we killed the puppy too. Yeah. Oh, shit.
And he's like, you shot the dog? I'm like, no, we stomped it to death.
It's like, wait, you stole his car and killed his dog. And then the Russian kid starts laughing.
Right.
And then Aurelio is like, oh, yeah. Boom. Fucking flattens this kid, knocks him down.
Decks the kid. Like you
punches him right in his mouth. And then this dude, you guy in the background with the blue shirt and the chain, he pulls a Beretta and points it right at Aurelio's face. And Aurelio grabs a gun and he puts it up against his head. He says, oh, if you're going to kill me, put it right here. And if you're not, get the fuck out of my shop. So, he ain't he's not just some body shop guy. He's seen some shit. He's done some shit. And he's not scared to die. No. And so the kid starts talking shit. We own you. We own you, blah, blah, blah. My dad's going to be pissed. He's, I don't give a fuck what your dad thinks. Once he hears about this shit. And so, yeah, exactly. Except it was able to go over 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, we're going to get to speed. Just so you guys know, I suggested to Jericho last week, before we hit Halloween, October, in October, we're going to do horror movies every week. We're going to do Keanu Reeves until then. So we're going to hit, I think, Speed, obviously John Wick. Who knows? He's got a bunch of great movies. His birthday was last week. He just turned 60. Last week or the week before. And what else does he have? I mean, he has so many good ones. Point Break. We were supposed to do it, but then Dean came on that night. And we just goofed off all night. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I mean, he's got so many awesome movies.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Right. So we'll
him doing a British accent, that was wild.
Right. So one second. I am out of water and I am parched. I'll be back in under 1 minute, okay? So as I always tell you, Go ahead and vamp.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So Aurelio, he punches the kid, tells him to get the fuck out of my shop. My dad's gonna be pissed. I don't give a fuck what your dad thinks. So this is the kid's dad. He's a big time mafia boss for the Russian mafia, big time dude. And this is his wild little rich. He's had everything he wanted, little punk ass son. And if his son was one of his henchmen, he probably would have shot him in the head a long time ago, especially after doing something like this. But it's his son. So he calls John Leguizamo and he says, John Leguizamo, he knows who it is. He hesitates. He picks up the phone. He says, hello? And he just says, I heard that you struck my son. And Aurelio says, yeah, I did. He says, may I ask why? He said he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And his dad says one word. He goes, oh, and then hangs up the phone because his dad knows who the fuck John Wick is, or Baba Yaga, as they call him, the boogeyman. He knows who John Wick is, so all he says is, oh, and hangs up the phone. And now he's pissed at his son because now you've awakened this kraken that was in a deep slumber at the bottom of the ocean, and you went ahead and fucked around. Not only did you wake him up, but you stuck a hot poker in his ass to wake him up. So now he's pissed. He's looking for somebody to aim all of that experience and rage at.
Right.
And now you had him pointed at you, you dummy. So since you're my dumbass son, I'm not just going to let him, carve you up into pieces. So now I'm in this. Now I got to protect your stupid ass.
Right.
So he goes and his son shows up.
If it was just one of his goons, he'd let Wick have him. But it's his son.
He'd probably kill him himself.
Right.
He'd probably shoot him right in the head himself for bringing that kind of heat on him.
Right.
And that guy in the background is
give his corpse to Wick.
Yeah. So. And that guy in the background, he's the was it the Allstate, the Mayhem guy? Great actor.
Right.
So he says, son, I heard you did something today. Oh, that car? Yeah, it was some fucking nobody. And he punches his son in the stomach. And he falls on the ground. He pukes a little bit. He throws a towel. Clean that up. He tells him in Russian, clean that up. And he's like, what the fuck, Dad? He's like, why are you so mad at me? He said, it's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to. That's right. John Wick. He's like, who the fuck's John Wick? I love,
again, as a writer myself, I hope to write things this good. Like this concept, what they're writing right here, of building the legend and the terror of who John Wick is. The reaction of the bad guys to him. Mm-hmm. And the Baba Yaga. In Russian folklore, that is the evil grandma. It means the boogeyman. But the Baba Yaga is this witch that lives in the forest, and she has this wooden home that's like a chicken with legs, like wooden legs, and she's the boogeyman who takes away, bad little kids or whatever. That's what the Baba Yaga is. In Mexico, we have the cucuy. You know what I mean? We have the cucuy. So, yeah, it's the same thing as the boogeyman, which is not a scary name, but a scary concept for children.
Yeah, boogeyman had kids jumping into their beds for years, so he couldn't grab you when you were standing next to your bed. So while he's explaining to his son, his dad kind of turns into a voiceover, and they're showing John Wick with his sledgehammer because he was so serious about quitting the game that he went and buried all of his weaponry under concrete to show that if I'm this serious and I'm willing to go through all this to break the concrete up and dig it up, it must be something serious.
Real quick, here's the Baba Yaga. That's her house with chicken legs that goes around. And she herself rides in a bucket with a broom. She sits in a weird bucket and she, I think, steals and eats children or something like that.
Hi.
So, yeah, that is the super freaky Baba Yaga.
Hi.
Oh, hello there, Jericho Green Jr.
He won't say hi.
He did say hi. You just can't hear him. I have the headphones on.
Can you hear me now, son?
Yes.
Well, good. Hey, I heard you did great in football, scoring a touchdown.
I did.
Good. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Okay.
Remember, you will play the way you practice. So practice hard because then that's the way you're going to play in your games.
You're right. That's what happened.
There you go. You will always play the way you practice. All right. Have a good night, son.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
He said you'll always play the way you practice.
Right. Love you.
Okay, bye. You kept on me, son. Not
You're muted.
Okay. So if he's willing to go through all of this to get to his guns and shit, then it must be something bad. And yeah, that's what his
We
dad
talk
said.
about
He
how
tells his
cool
son.
that is. That
Yeah.
he has like gold and weapons, and I don't know if he has passports, but he has everything he needs.
He has like these cougar rats or some shit.
Buried under 4 inches of concrete, and he beats it. I don't know how many of you work construction. That's not easy to go through a slab with a sledgehammer.
That's a 12-pound sledgehammer too.
Right, that is a workout.
Yeah. So everything's in there. His suit, his guns, his fucking knives, everything he needs is in there. His cougar ants to pay in this secret society of assassins. The secret society of assassins.
Secret society of assassins.
Assassinators. So
I think the secret society of assassins is super special.
Yeah, I just need a umbrella when you say the title.
Yeah, it can get a little wet when you talk about it. Sometimes spit flies everywhere when you get excited.
So exciting.
A sledgehammer on a slab of concrete for secret.
That's something we see in the secret society of assassins.
Secrets. I love secrets.
Love secrets.
Shrapnel says he was terrified of La Llorona when he was a kid. So llore in Spanish means to cry. So Llorona is a woman who cries a lot. She's the crier. The legend of the Llorona is a mother whose children drowned or died or something. They died. And she comes out of the lake or she comes out of somewhere like crying for her children, and she'll steal other children to replace her.
Damn.
So that's the Llorona is terrifying for small Mexican children.
Other cultures have fucked up stories for kids to make them behave.
Dude, when I took African art history, I found out some scary ass concepts there. Really scary.
Like Krampus and all that stuff. Like who comes to get the bad kids? I'm like, fuck, man.
Right.
That's crazy. All of ours are all happy and he's jolly and he eats cookies. Another one's like, he will come from the forest and bake you in your sleep. So John Wick is he has decided this is bad enough. So I'm gonna go through this fucking 8 inches of concrete. And so his dad saying, now you're under my protection. I can do it, Dad. Let me make this right. And he hits him again. He's like, you're not fucking listening. He's like, he even tells the guy, did he not hear a fucking word I just said? This is John Wick. And he tells him, I saw him kill a guy once with a fucking pencil. But he's not getting it. He's full of vim and vigor, whatever those things are. He's full of it. And he thinks that he can do it. He thinks he can do anything. He wants to prove himself to his pops. Because even he knows he's a sniveling little shit who just a little rich boy who got what he wants. Gets what he wants. So he wants to prove himself to his pops. And his dad's even trying to probably keep him at the lower level of shit, not let him really get into, the bad shit to protect him. But
how'd you like to hear this sentence from your dad?
Yeah.
You will do nothing because you can do nothing. Holy shit, that's terrible.
Yeah, you're gonna do what I tell you, and I'm gonna do my best to keep you alive, because if you go out there in the open with John Wick, he's gonna fucking shoot you right in your face. And all your little punk ass friends who you think are your homeboys and you think they're hard. He'll kill all of them too. So yeah, there's all this shit. And as a kid, I always loved this. Like these cases that have the spots for specific weapons.
Right, that's awesome.
This is the gun porn scene in every great action movie.
You got the 4 pistols, magazines, a knife, 4 grenades, and a bunch of those golden cougarans, whatever that word means.
I'll take all of it. It's South African currency. Remember from Lethal Weapon?
Diplomatic immunity.
From Lethal Weapon 2, I mean.
Right.
Diplomatic immunity.
That's right.
So yeah, he's ready to go. And so homeboy, the stupid little Russian's father, calls him. Hey, he's like, John Wick. He's basically saying, hey, can we talk about it? I realize my son fucked up. And he knows he has to at least try to do this. Try to resolve this peacefully. He's like, there's something we can do, blah, blah, blah. And he just fucking hangs up on him.
Well, another thing this movie captures that I think is brilliant in the whole John Wick mythology is masculinity. You're like, oh, it's hyper violent killing, this and that. Yes, but even though they are criminals and assassins, they have the masculine code of no cheap bullshit. There's rules. You follow the rules. We have our code of honor. And as a man, Jericho, 2 guys are fighting. Cool, whatever, they're fighting. But if one guy comes up and like sucker punches the other guy from behind when he's not watching, everyone's like, no, come on, man. What is that?
It's not cool.
Dude?
Not
When
cool.
one guy goes down, the other guy starts kicking him in the head when he's passed out. Everybody's like, what the hell? That's not part of the rules. So they do have their rules and they enforce them, and I think that is one of the most important essence, one of the most important aspects of being a man is we have our concept of honor and honoring our word and what we say we're going to do and how we're going to conduct ourselves,
Yeah, just like, like the mafia, no women, no kids. There's that code of honor that every man is just born with. And some, don't follow it, but most men do.
Right.
And yeah, he's getting ready. The dad was like, hey, come on, let's talk about it. John Wick don't say a word. He just hangs up on him. So lets his dad know, well, there's no getting out of this. This is on. So here's what you're going to do, you stupid little bastard. And so John Wick gets all G'd up, puts on his suit and shit, loads his guns up, more gun porn, that scene. And he's in his house. He's still in his house. But he comes out of his bedroom and he knows these dudes are coming for him. And then they go outside. The camera goes outside or go to the camera outside. And you see like fucking 12 dudes all in black with ski masks on and guns with suppressors on them fucking coming up to his house. And it's on.
And 12 on 1. And
no
it was not a fair fight at 12 on 1.
Nope. And that's him jumping off the steps to the lower floor. And dude getting down. And what they call this gun fu, where it's like martial arts moves, a lot of judo throws and shit, jiu-jitsu, but mixed in with shooting. And this is the first time I've ever seen it. Seen this gun fu shit, or at least on this level. And John Wick just starts fucking these dudes up in his house. A lot of them get shot. One of them gets his neck broken. Another one gets stabbed. But most of them are just getting blasted. And everything's like double tap to the chest, one to the head. Everybody's getting one to the head to make sure, maybe more. But you're getting at least fucking one brain box shot for sure. Got to make sure you're down. And this dude right here, he stabs him. He like hits his hand and like drives the knife into this dude's chest. And then the cop shows up. So I guess our security, armed security for this housing development, this gated community he lives in. And then you see the red and blue lights outside, and that's right here. He's opening the door, and he's like, "What's up, Jimmy?" He's like, he looks in the house behind him and sees a dude laid on the floor dead. He's like, "You working again?" And he goes, "Yeah, afraid I am." And he goes, "All right, have a good night." So this must be like the high table like housing development.
It's kind of like the Disney Springs or whatever, those houses that Disney World built down there in Florida.
Yeah, because everybody knows what's up in this area, in this housing development.
Oh, Heather says, I love the Continental with Ben Robson from Animal Kingdom. My favorite show. My dog is named after one of the brothers. The Continental is a John Wick streaming show, right? I've never seen it, but I know it exists. I saw an ad for it. But I don't have the streaming platforms because I don't want to give woke people my money. I don't have Disney Plus or Hulu. What's it on? Do you know, Jericho? Is it Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus? No idea.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Looks cool, but I don't have streaming, so I guess I won't see it. Let's see. So yeah, the cop. That's a funny scene. The cop's like, "Hey, you working again?"
Yeah. He's like, all right. Have a good night, man.
So then, much like in Pulp Fiction, he calls the wolf. It's not called the wolf, but it's the same guy, the cleaner. And they come to rid this place of blood and bodies. And he pays them some of those South African cougarans. Cougarans. Okay.
And that same guy, he always plays a little creepy fucker. He was Sully in Commando.
Sully.
Remember I told you I was going to kill you last. I lied. And he was also, I don't remember the character's name, but he was a fucking piece of shit in Longest Yard too. Like
I did not realize that is Sully from Commando.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that is, yeah.
Sully. Remember when I told you I was going to kill you last? I lied.
Right.
He's like, oh, you're a funny guy, Sully. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Continental had 3 episodes. I think it was on Peacock. Yes, the other guys. Lucas Loader thinks it's on Bangkok.
So that's different. There are some cocks there.
Animal Kingdom was filmed in Oceanside. Oh, that's right up the road from me. I love going to Oceanside. My wife loves going to the pier. That is the beach and the pier my wife went to as a child all the time, Oceanside. So that is Oceanside is where you see all kinds of young men with buzz cuts walking around because they drive down the couple miles from the Marine Corps, the Marine Camp Pendleton, the biggest Marine camp, training camp in the world for the U.S. military. And Oceanside is the only city next to it because you have like all of San Diego, and the last city in San Diego County is Oceanside. You have nothing but wilderness, which is Camp Pendleton for 20 or 30 miles. And after 20 or 30 miles, you hit San Clemente and you're in Orange County, California. So, and right at in Orange County, that's where Disneyland and all that stuff is. And right after that, you're in LA County, which is horrible.
Ooh.
Heather says the Oceanside Pier caught fire and rubies burned. Yes, that happened last year. There was a pop-up restaurant operating out of Ruby's Diner, which is at the end of the pier. I've eaten there once, like 20 years ago. And Ruby's is no more. Ruby's caught on fire. So,
damn, it's fucked up.
Yeah. And Mr. Reese was like me. He didn't know that was Sully either, the little cleaner guy.
Yeah, Sully.
Shit, you called the wolf? That's all you had to say.
So I had to say. So yeah, these guys come in, shrink wrap, tarps, duct tape, the whole nine. They just roll these bodies up, mop up all the blood. He's got spray cleaner, fucking they're picking up shell casings and teeth and shit. They get everything.
All right. So now we meet the Russian guy again, the father, and he's talking to Willem Dafoe. That's the father. It was small, so I zoomed in for it. And he's talking to Willem Dafoe, which is John Wick's mentor that we saw at the funeral, the wife's funeral at the beginning. He's the one who trained John Wick. So now they want him to go after John Wick. And of course, emotionally, that's conflicting. This is his mentee, you know, his understudy, and I'm sure he has some fondness for him, you know.
Yeah, he was at the funeral.
Right.
Met him at the funeral at the beginning.
But the rules of the assassins and the high table and these gangsters, the rules take precedent. And if you say you're living in these rules, if we tell you got to go after someone, then you got to. So now he has to go after his own guy, which is sucky, but good writing, you know. Because think about that. If we just wrote, oh, the bad guys have a badass guy they're going to send after John Wick, that's cool. But if you say the bad guys are going to send John Wick's friend after him, wow, that's twisted. So this is really good writing. People think John Wick is just bang, 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 and then gun fu. This has excellent writing, this movie. And I think it doesn't get the credit it deserves. Because if you just think about that, the friend mentor going to kill his protege, that's amazing writing. That's Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, right? That's awesome writing.
And he, when he left John Leguizamo's Aurelio's shop, he said, "I need a car." So he gave him this like '69 Chevelle. So that's what he's smashing around in right now.
And then what is her name again? Oh, I can't remember.
Miss Bennett. What was it?
Something like that. Something with the B. Dang it, I can't remember.
Bitch.
She's pretty good looking though. But every woman I see is not as good looking as my wife. I'll tell you that right now.
Let's say it first and foremost.
First and foremost, just let me make that clear to everyone always.
Everybody listening? Hello? Everybody listening. If you hear nothing else, you better hear this.
I think it's Perkins.
Miss Perkins, yeah.
Miss Perkins. That's right.
Yeah, she's crazy. Miss Perkins.
Miss Reese. Miss Reese. Brandon, our friend from the Ripperverse, warehouse manager for Eric July's amazing Ripperverse comics.
Oh, what up, Brandon?
Dallas Cowboy fan. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately. We all make mistakes.
Right.
But that's all right, man. You guys beat the Browns. So
they beat the Browns. So there you go. Brandon says we review all four. Eventually, I don't think we have enough time before Halloween. And we're going to do horror movies during October. But leading up to it, we're going to just do different Keanu Reeves movies. I want to do Speed, not the drug, the 90s movie.
Oh, we have to be authentic.
Maybe Point Break, since we never did it. Oh, I am an FBI agent. Bodie and Johnny Utah. How great are those names, dude?
Hey, I'm moving to your neck of the woods, Brandon. We're moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Right. So you guys can hang all the time.
Yeah, we'll be friends, man. I'll find out where you work.
Mr. Reese says Adrian Pelicki is her name. She plays Adrian Pelicki. She plays Miss Perkins. Now, my wife's name is Adrian, So as I say,
Hey.
all beautiful women are not as beautiful as my wife. Some are close, but not that close. I told you all it was between Cindy Crawford and my wife, and my wife should be very happy. She won that battle. I could have had Cindy Crawford like that, dude. You know,
But you
so
chose
I chose my wife
Adrian
over international supermodel Cindy Crawford. Let's tell you everything
So-
you need to know about my
so
wife.
You're welcome, Adrian.
There you go. Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome.
Fun fact: she was Wonder Woman on a TV show. Yeah, did that show go for a few episodes or just one episode and got canceled? But she was Wonder Woman a few years before the Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot or Gadot or whatever.
Yeah,
the hell
she
her
was
name
in the second G.I. Joe movie too. That's
is. Okay. All right.
That's bad.
Brandon 69-8 says you'll hate the heat, but the rest of the seasons are okay. So whatever that means about Texas.
Where I live, it gets in the hundreds in the summertime. So I'm sure there's probably like humidity and shit in Texas too, but I've been as almost as hot as it gets in California. I mean, you get down to like Death Valley and shit, but I live where I live now is pretty damn hot.
We had a heat wave. We finally had summer here in San Diego. Finally. It was 89, 90, 93, 93. Damn. That was tough. It was 73 today.
Midnight, it's that temperature here.
There were 4 days of heat in America's finest city, and I'm going to write someone. I'm going to complain. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. 4 days, touching around 90, unacceptable for San Diego. Unacceptable.
Well, we'll get in touch with the weather as soon as possible.
You know,
get that taken care of. But shit, in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's fucking 90 degrees. That's crazy.
Ain't no way. Here it's in the mid to low 60s at night. So nice and chill.
It's starting to get like that. Today was only like 87, so it's starting to cool off.
So this is more of the amazing lore of the John Wick universe, where there's a hotel run by this gentleman. I forget his name. He was in the TV show Fringe. I actually worked on the Fringe comic book when I was at DC Comics. We did a few issues.
Lance Riddick.
He was what?
Lance Riddick.
Oh, that's his name. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's the concierge of the Continental. The Continental is this beautiful old style hotel there in New York. And the assassins and all that, they stay at it. And when you're on that ground, it's like neutral ground and no one's allowed to do anything to anyone there. Even if you see the target of your assassination, your arch nemesis, whatever, you can't touch anyone in the Continental. That is a rule for these people.
Yep. And I think, is it part 3? I think it's part 3. He gets down in a gunfight with John Wick as a partner. Oh, yeah, man.
I saw 3, but it was, it was years back. I don't remember.
No, it's a nice little shooting scene. He gets down. Yeah, R.I.P. Lance Riddick is dead. He died.
Yeah, he passed a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking for that Fringe work I did. Oh, okay, Fringe. Real quick, let me bust out some of this. What is this here?
He always plays like the military, general or admiral, like very serious roles.
Sorry, I'm looking for some artwork for the Fringe comic book. I did work on.
He was on Eric Andre show, and that shit was awkward.
Do you like that kind of stuff, Eric Andre?
Not a lot, but that movie was, that show. There were some episodes that were pretty good.
I like it, but I wouldn't want him to do that to me. So then I always feel like I shouldn't support this. You're just going out and terrorizing people all over town.
My favorite part were the ones in the studio where he would like have people on as guests. Show. That was funny. That's where he had Lance Riddick on, and that should not go well.
Right, but when he's going crazy inside the subway or whatever, that's so annoying. Like it's funny, but then I think about fuck that. I don't know about that. Well, I should have been ready. This is too hard to find my Fringe artwork from 2009. So sorry. Let's see. He's Lieutenant Daniels on The Wire. Dude, I've asked so many people if they've seen The Wire, and everybody says no. And the problem with The Wire is it was out before Netflix and streaming and all that. The Wire might be the greatest TV show of all time. I don't know. True Detective season 1 might be the greatest show of all time. But The Wire is right there. Holy cow, The Wire is amazing. If you haven't seen The Wire, you've missed one of the greatest police shows of all time.
It's on.
It might be the greatest police show of all time. Yeah, The Wire's from 2002, 3, 4, something like that. So that's where they're saying Omar coming.
Yeah.
So have you seen it? Have you seen The Wire?
No,
Oh,
never seen The Wire. But I remember when it was on, my brother telling me, "Oh, you gotta see it. It's the best show ever." I probably will. I'll come across it. We get on our
All
little
right.
binges. We get on our TV series
I
sometimes.
think you trust my
Sure I
taste.
will.
You trust my taste in movies and
Yeah.
all that. And I'm telling you, best cop show ever is The Wire. True Detective is a detective show. It's sort of a cop show. But if you want a police procedural with the police station and all this, it's the best cop show ever, maybe the best TV show ever, The Wire. It's awesome. There are 4 or 5 seasons, and it's just outstanding.
Yeah,
So,
and it's in Baltimore, right?
right,
It takes place in Baltimore.
right.
That's where my mom is from.
Really? Okay.
Probably see her old neighborhood before it
Yeah.
got crazy like that. It
Yeah,
wasn't
The
expensive.
Wire. You will love it. It is so good.
Yeah, back in the 60s, it was different.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was in it? I don't remember the names. I watched The Wire about over 15
wasn't
years.
Idris Elba in it?
Idris Elba was, he was great in it. There was another guy that was Avon Barksdale. He was this big gangster and stuff, and it's so good. One time focuses on like the docks, all these Polish workers and mafia stuff. Another time focuses on the city newspaper and how that's tangled with crime. Another one focuses on the ghetto projects and the drug dealers. It's all going all over all the time, but there's an overarching theme through each season. And there's 4 or 5 seasons, and it's just amazing. And the main character is the detective. I believe his name is Jim McNulty. And he's that British guy. What the hell's his name? Dominic West. Here we go.
That fool.
Michael Kenneth was Omar Little. Dominic West was Jim McNulty. This woman here, Felicia Pearson, she was actually like a real gangster sort of person who actually lived in Baltimore, I guess.
Yeah,
I always thought she always looked like Carmelo Anthony to me. And it's just an awesome show. And this is where Idris Elba blew up into a star, I believe. I don't think he was famous in America yet. He was probably on some other stuff in England first, where he's from. But this is where he blew up. Yeah.
Yeah, this blew him up in America.
Yeah. But The Wire, I couldn't recommend it more. It's outstanding. And my favorite TV show, I don't watch a lot of TV. We didn't have cable all the time. But when I was early in my marriage, I watched a show on NBC Friday nights called Homicide, Life on the Street. And it was a police procedural in Baltimore. Same creator, David Simon. Raging jerk, has total Trump derangement syndrome, cusses everyone out on Twitter constantly. But his TV shows are pretty good. The Wire.
Stick to that.
Yeah. And The Wire, my favorite character on that was Andre Braugher. Rest in peace.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. Andre Braugher was on The Wire. He was and it has those great ensemble casts. And there was a guy on The Wire. He was, I think he played the mayor or something like that. And Mr. Reese has it right there. He would always say, "Shit." It was so funny, dude. The Wire is just awesome.
Yeah, I'll get to it for sure.
Yeah. But Brian King
Sounds
beat Falcon.
fun.
Yeah, The Wire, absolute fire. The Wire.
What up, King B?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone loved The Wire. Oh, Mr. Reese says he was a senator. I knew he was some politician. Again, I haven't seen the show in like 15 years. I only watched it once. I didn't have any money. I lived back in Colorado. I was just out of college. So I would rent things for free from the library on DVD. And I just The Wire on DVD from the library. Checked it out and watched it.
What fucking library was that?
Right. Any library has DVDs. They do. So, yeah. Shit. It's just, you got to watch The Wire, dude. It's so good. It's so compelling. And they do a thing where they're juggling 15 main characters, and they do it so well. So, yeah, The Wire's awesome. So, anyway, John Wick checks in the Continental because he is on a mission to go get that punk-ass kid and his buddies that are the son of the big Russian boss here in New York.
Yeah.
Who killed his dog on the day of his wife's funeral, and they stole his beautiful 69 Mustang and just disrespected him completely. He was trying to live in peace. I don't think there's anything more dangerous than a man who just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah, and you pushed him too far. Now there's no negotiation because that time has passed. We tried that already. Once a man, my dad always told me, a man who doesn't care is dangerous.
A man with nothing to lose? Come on.
Once you push somebody, that's it.
Right. And Sun Tzu, the great Chinese, I don't know if he's military commander. I think he was a general. He was definitely a leader, a philosopher. In his amazing book, everyone should read. It's very short. The Art of War. It gives you a lot of thoughts about how to deal with conflict in life. He said, Sun Tzu said, never corner your opponent with no way for them to escape. Think about what will happen if you corner somebody and they have no way to escape. They have nothing to lose. They'll fight tooth and nail to the death. Always give your enemy an escape. And John Wick, he's got nothing to lose.
That puppy was his escape, and they
That
took
was
that away.
it.
So now I will kill all of you. So yeah, this is that bitch, Miss Perkins. You know,
Right.
you could tell there's some tension there.
Yeah.
You know, something's going on there.
Yeah.
Sexual tension or otherwise. She's
Right. This woman's
yeah.
like, you know, John, I'm not as good looking as Gabe's wife. That's what she
But
said.
I'll do in this movie.
Hey, you'll do in a pinch.
Yeah, she's a good fill-in.
Yeah. And her name is Adrian, like my wife.
See? That was
Jericho, I hope I don't get confused.
yeah. But wait, you're Adrian. She's Adrian. What do you want me to do?
But if you're Adrian, then you're.
What do you want me to do? Hey, yo. She'll understand. Very understandable.
Hey, yo, Adrian, which one of you is which?
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, no.
No, she's Adrian's a very understanding woman. She would totally forgive you.
Yes, absolutely.
So it was dark.
Flirting with disaster, everyone.
Gonna die. So yeah, this club is very I like the green lights, the red.
The green and white, opposing complementary colors. Awesome.
Yeah, very dark, mysterious, killers everywhere. And this is the manager of the Continental. He's in charge of what goes on, who does what, the everyday goings on, the running of the hotel. That's the man. And
that's British actor and former footballer, as they call them in England or Britain, whatever, Ian McShane, who played the amazing Swearingen, or Swedgen, as the Chinese guy called him, for 6 seasons in Deadwood. This is prime HBO before everything was woke. This is early 2000s HBO with The Wire and with Deadwood. I think those two and True Detective season 1 are the best shows they ever made. Uh-oh, my wife, Adrian, is in the chat.
Oh, whoops. I guess I was wrong.
She would not understand.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. Well, you know, I figured the lights are probably dim.
I mean, they both have dark hair.
Both have dark hair. You're both named Adrian.
All right.
We're all human, Adrian.
What if I was tired, you know, and you're not sharp when you're tired sometimes?
Yeah, he's rubbing his eyes.
I'd been up for 14 hours working really hard for you and the family, so I was really just kind of tired, you know?
Yeah. So really...
I mean, really, it's your fault for working
really,
so much.
Yeah, he's kind of just like, you're lucky that he's even letting you know this is going to happen. At least he's like letting you know. So
oh,
nice.
Boy. Yeah, this show's going to end eventually, Jericho, and I'm going to have to go to bed.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Run in there and I'll do the show. Run in there and get all your steak knives. Put them somewhere.
Mr. Reese, Ian McShane, which is a great name, was also in the movie Death Race. I did not know that. This guy has that word, that pretentious acting word. This guy has gravitas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You feel his presence. He's like, oh, he's there and you better listen, you know?
Yeah, he has that posh British.
Right. He has that I'm regal, and what I say is important and true. And you know.
He's also have a drink and relax.
Right.
You know, he's very Cheshire cat, the way he talks. And he's letting go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
He's just basically letting him know that you know, you can't handle any business here. No business can be handled on continental grounds. He's like, unless you want the consequences. So he said, just have a drink, relax. And he tells him it's personal. And he gets up and walks away. And then that's when he runs into this rockabilly chick who's like a bartender or something like that. Yeah, her. And she's like, John, what the hell? And she like kisses him on the cheek like they're homies or whatever. I never thought I'd see you here again. And he's like, yeah, well, yeah, I didn't want to be back. And she was like, I've never seen you like this before. And he says, like what? She says, vulnerable. And he's like, shit. Because he wanted the manager to give him some information on how he could find this kid. And he's like, we can't do that.
Right.
You know, and so she's like, well, how about your usual drink? He's like, yeah, that'd be nice. She puts it on the napkin and slips it to him. And he looks down, reads it. Then he looks over at, I think it was Michael, Ian McShane, looks over at him, and he has his drink, his martini, kind of nods like, yeah, you're welcome. And he leaves, and they pan it, or they zoom in on the napkin, and it says red circle and a lipstick print from that chick. So I guess she wants to bang him, because that's usually what that means when chicks put a
You don't know that.
lipstick
You
print.
want to talk to him about anything.
Pretty sure that's what it means. She's like, "Here, I want you to put stuff in my mouth. This is how big it is." So she,
But
gives
she
him
want
that.
to talk to him about his stamp collection.
I heard you got some new Buffalo nickels. Call me. And she wrote down the name of this club. So the Red Circle turns out to be like this Russian club in New York. And so now he knows.
Look,
all right,
Red Circle. You go to
Yes.
Club Red Circle. See girl.
And it's pretty, it's actually a pretty genius name to name a club that's, caters to Russians. And so now he knows, all right, this little fucker is at the Red Circle. Here we go. He heads right on over. And of course, he can't go through the front door because everybody is like radio checking. Hey, basement check in, second floor check in. Have you seen him? You seen John Wick? You've seen him. So everybody's on the lookout because they know they have a little fucker at the club. And so he shows up, and then he doesn't go in through the front. He goes in the John Wick one. And then there's this chick, Miss Perkins, again, and she like looks at him or like stares at him as he walks out. So something's up with this chick.
Because there's a bounty on him, right? Is the $2 million bounty on him yet, or does that come a little bit later? I don't remember.
I think it comes a little bit later.
Okay, it comes a little bit later.
Because But so yeah, he's getting ready. There's no time. We're not going to sleep and go get him in the morning. Let's suit up right now. So he's fucking locking and loading all his shit because he's gonna go get that little bastard tonight.
The suit up scenes are so good.
The best.
I finished the plot for Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2, but I just realized I don't have a suit up scene in it. So excuse me while I write an email to myself to add that.
Suit it.
I'm literally going to write that. Suit
Yeah, suit up scenes are.
So we got to have that.
So that's what he's doing. Put on his suit.
Okay.
That's another thing. They always look nice. They're always dressed in suits. So women have dresses on or skirts or whatever. Everybody's always dressed real nice. And I imagine those shoes are probably super expensive. Those socks,
right.
Everything super expensive. But he's putting a knife on his ankle. He's loading up, probably 3-4 different guns, magazines everywhere. He's carrying a lot of weight. So he goes to the club, and you can see in that next scene that he's like on those, one of those things on the wrist. Yeah, it's definitely that kind of Euro trash music.
Let me interrupt you there. You were not in the Pacific when you were a Navy man. You were in the what is it? Westpac. What was yours called?
Med Cruise.
Okay, Med Cruise. So did you go to Europe at all when you were in the Mediterranean, like Spain or Italy or any of those, or just the Middle East?
Spain, Sicily, Greece.
Okay, I don't know a lot about Europeans, but I know they love electronic music and house music and trance music and anything where you could take drugs and then be up all night going oons, 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 oons. Did you ever get an explanation to why Europeans love this stuff? Because I hate this kind of stuff.
I never got an explanation, but I experienced it. There was in downtown Barcelona, this club called Club Star Winds. All night long, every song. No, nothing was slow, nothing was mid. Everything was just like fucking ecstasy music. So yeah, that is true, and they love that shit, and it's very annoying. Very annoying because it all sounded the same. It all just sounded like fucking garbage.
Well, it could be, or it could be.
Oh, see, okay, I didn't think of it that way. Thank you.
Right, you can just mix it up a little bit, But yeah, I'm not into techno, whatever the hell they call it. I don't know.
Ugh, can't stand it. And so this guy, he's speaking into his wrist, the little mic or whatever, and this is where he's telling all the guys, check in, basement, roof, blah blah blah. And everybody's checking in.
None of the Miser says Europe has way better drugs. That's why I disavow drugs on this channel. I'm a teetotaler. No smoking, drinking, no drugs. Not for me. It's not for me.
Fun.
Not for me.
No fun.
Nope.
No, I don't do that anymore. But
I don't need that to have a good time. It is weird though. I was in Vegas all weekend, as you know, and Fremont Street, and it is loaded with adults that are loaded. Yo. And it is. I'm still not used to it. You're stone sober, and you're just around a bunch of drunk people. And apparently, things are a lot funnier when you're drunk than they are when you're sober. Yeah. And it just doesn't look that funny when you're looking at it sober. But I did see some amazing things on Fremont Street. Some very funny things.
Yeah, I know. Of course, I believe when you become of a certain age, you put childish things away. So I don't do it anymore. But when I was a young man, I did drugs a few times. It was a lot of fun.
I ran into Mr. Lowercase T. You know Mr. T?
Yeah, the Mr. T. Yeah,
right, Mr. T. I ran into Lowercase T. I'm trying to find the picture here in my phone.
I don't want to run into him.
It was amusing. Hold on.
Sounds disappointing.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. I gotta. This is really good
That means
radio.
it's disappointing.
Me just scrolling through my phone is really entertaining for people to watch.
It's very gripping.
Yeah, everyone's like,
radio.
"Oh man, he's really scrolling right now. That's fun to watch."
If you turn it up, you can hear his finger going across.
Yeah, you can hear a little swish noise as I push on my phone. I better find it because I'm building this up and I am not finding this.
Yeah, this better be good. But yeah, he's checking in, making sure everybody's at their post and they don't see John Wick yet. So there's all these security guys at different points of the club. And Kevin Nash, the wrestler, he's playing the doorman at like the VIP entrance.
Really, the giant 7-foot wrestling guy,
big ass dude. And so John Wick comes, he lets some guys in, and then they leave, and John Wick comes up behind him and puts a gun in his head. He says, "Hello, Boris," or whatever his fucking name was.
Hello, Boris.
He's like, hello, Mr. Wick. He says, "Oh, you lost some weight." He's like, "Yes, 60 kilograms," or whatever the fuck. And he's like, "Oh, good job." And he asked him, "Are you working?" He said, "Yeah, I sure am."
So as I was walking through Fremont Street in Las Vegas, I saw this guy that looked a little like Mr. T to me, with the hair and the gold chains. And I thought it was interesting, you know, and I tried to take a picture of him without me noticing. I want you to see how successful I was of sneakily just holding my phone. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just holding my phone." Click. I was probably 10, 12 feet away. Do you think he noticed if I took this picture or not?
Yeah, you can even see the look on his face. Like,
he's staring right down the pipe, dude. He saw me totally. So that's embarrassing that I got caught taking his picture.
Yeah,
but you know,
but if you're gonna do it, do it right. He should have the rings, the feather earrings, you know, his pants tucked into his fucking Converse. Like, fucking do it right. Get the sleeves off of that thing.
Yeah, not only did Lowercase T catch me, his friend caught me. Look, his friend's just staring right at me.
Like, "Yeah, pizza. You got some more pizza."
Well, they're sharing that pizza. I saw them sharing it.
Yeah, they're probably Lady and the Tramp in that bitch.
Oh,
gross. Meat in the middle. That's disgusting.
Oh yeah, that's right. I sent Diesel a picture of a Raider donuts that I got at the Pink Box Donuts. Pink Box is a chain that's all over Vegas, and they have pretty good damn donuts. So, and they had Raider donuts there, so I sent that to Diesel when I was there.
Gross.
So, yeah.
But if it's a Raider donut, the way you have to eat it is you have to put it on a guy's hard on and then eat it around it at the base.
You sound like you've done that before.
I've seen it. I've seen Raiders OTAs before. What the fuck? You're a Broncos fan. Why are you standing up for the Raiders?
I don't know.
That's supposed to be your sworn enemy.
I can't stay mad at the Raiders. We need the Raiders. You got to have a villain.
You got to kick the shit out of somebody every year.
See, here it is. Here's the Raider. See, so they have I don't know. I'm a businessman. I do a little marketing of my stuff. I feel like you shouldn't sell poo at your store. And what do you think now? If the poo, that's gross. What is the pink substance? Is that like infection pus, or what is the pink?
But I don't think anybody. I think it's just because it's Pinky Donuts.
I guess. And then they have a Raider poop.
Look at the Raider poop. It's Vegas. That's their team.
Now, I have a problem with this. So Pink Box, today's show is brought to you by Pink Box. No, donuts pretty good for a chain, whatever. When I think of food and snacks, I don't think of adult humor and dirty jokes. And do you know what the Pink Box donut says on the front that you can't see from this angle? You see my toes at the bottom of the picture. Holy shit. The Pink Box donut says on it, "So good you'll lick the box." Why?
It's Vegas, baby.
Come on, dude.
You have half-naked whores out front trying to get you to take pictures with them.
I know. Vegas. It's just like, or even like we got to make dirty jokes with donuts. Jeez.
So Vegas is, man. It's sex and gambling.
I guess. I don't know.
They got prime real estate, so they're doing something right.
I guess.
They're like at the fucking right in the middle of Fremont Street. They're doing something.
So we're at Red Circle. That's where son of Mafia boss is. Red Circle. Party with friends. John Wick going to come inside. We keep him out. And so here's little spoiled brat boy. probably parting with respectable women, you know, kind,
Yeah,
thoughtful
they just
women.
got done studying.
Right.
This is the PE portion of their.
If Larry Flint owned a donut shop, yeah, I saw that on the box. I was just like, come on, these are donuts. We don't need a dirty joke on donuts. Jeez.
It's called Pinkies.
It's called Pink. I didn't even think about it. It's called Pink Box Donuts.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. That's a
that's
sex
the
joke.
fucking. That's what it is. You got to have a joke on the box.
Well, maybe I'm not a degenerate, sorry.
It's vagina donuts.
When I think of donuts, that's not the first thing I think of,
When you're in Vegas, it will be.
I guess.
I bet you it's nowhere else. Probably just in Vegas.
They're all over town, and they're pretty good,
Yeah. Got a good product.
Who doesn't love it? What's your donut? My donut is the old-fashioned buttermilk, regular glaze, or chocolate. That's like my favorite donut, or an apple fritter. What's your donut?
Old-fashioned glaze, period.
Oh, just the raised glaze, the real puffy one?
Yeah, old-fashioned. The fucking.
Wait, old-fashioned is the thick buttermilk, like the thick buttermilk one.
Yeah, but it's still shaped like a donut. It's not like a loaf.
Right. But the old-fashioned has like those 4 wings on the edge of the circle. You know what I mean? Those 4 little bars, So
I don't know if we're thinking about the same thing. But an old-fashioned glaze is the greatest donut ever created. Simple.
This is what I mean. This is
done correctly.
This thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It sort of has that weird second ring going around it. Sometimes it has.
It's a wrap.
Sometimes it's split, so it ends up with like 3 or 4 of these little bars on the edge.
Greatest donut ever made.
Yeah, that's my favorite donut, or that same donut with chocolate on it. Chocolate glaze, plain glaze. Either way, it's fantastic.
Yeah, delicious.
So, yeah.
Delish.
Yeah. Or this one. Yeah, the old-fashioned with the chocolate. Ooh.
With the poo on it.
Now, do you want milk or do you want coffee? Because both are fantastic.
Yeah, I'm good with either one, surprisingly.
I had, Hardy Harmonica says, maple glaze with bacon ain't playing around. No kidding. I saw maple glaze with bacon for years and thought it was a stupid gimmick. And I tried it and like, wow, that's actually good. There's a donut shop in Escondido. That's Northern County, San Diego. Family owned. Guy who went to World War II, came back, opened a donut shop after. It's Peterson's Donuts on Escondido Boulevard and 9th or 10th. And my wife lived a block from there in high school. She no longer lives there. She lives with me in a different part of town. And we would always go get a donut over there. And I would get the chocolate old-fashioned. And she liked the raised glaze, the traditional, like, thin, puffy donut. They're big, but they're airy inside. She liked the raised glaze. I like the old-fashioned. So now, Plain and Simple brings up a good point here. Doesn't every bakery give you your donuts in a pink box? That is true. Many bakeries give you all the baked goods in a pink box.
But that's not what they mean.
Yeah, they mean something worse.
So good you'll lick the box.
I went to a taco place with my little brother in Greeley, Colorado, and it was called the Fuzzy Taco. How terrible. Shame on you.
But how good was the food?
It was awful.
Oh, awful. You can't do that. You can't have a naughty title and shitty food. It has to, one of them has, the food has to be good.
Secretary Not Sure asked, what about Mary's Donut in Santee? Just went there Saturday or Sunday. I'd seen it a million times out in Lakeside, not Santee, out in Lakeside, which is next to Santee. I think you might be talking about Lakeside. I just went to Mary's Donut for the first time ever. I've seen it forever because there's a really good grocery store in Lakeside and Garden Market, I think. And they have like fresh tamales, fresh Arab food, fresh Mexican food. They make fresh tortillas. So I go out there once in a while to Santee. It's only like a 10-15 or like a 20-minute drive. And I went to Mary's Donut, but as I'm walking in, this Jesse Pinkman, white trash, punk ass kid is on a scooter. I'm holding Big Baby and my wife. We're going in Mary's Donut, and this little bitch ass kid looks at me and says, "Hey man, can I use your phone? My friends are over there, and I just need to call them." And I'm like, "No." He's all, "What'd you say, N-word? What'd you say, bitch ass N-word?" I'm 6'4", muscular, very strong. I'm a scary looking guy if I want to. And this little 150-pound guy's cussing me out. I don't even look out. I just walk in like, you are an actual idiot. And you're lucky I'm me, because someone else would have done something real bad. This fucking kid thinks I'm stupid, that I'm going to unlock my phone with, PayPal, Apple Wallet, all the shit, and hand it to you. And you're on a scooter. You think I'm fucking dumb so you can take off with my phone and spend my money? And you have the fucking temerity to yell at me. You're lucky I am who I am and I have principles. You are lucky. Oh, what a little punk.
Piece of
Jeez.
shit.
So yes, Secretary, I'm sure I've been to Mary's Donut and I met the little punk ass kid out there. Not unlike the punk in this movie. He was just like a filthy kid with like a beanie half off his head on a scooter and like long, floppy, like dirty blonde hair.
He
Like
could have used a real good ass whooping.
crooked teeth. And I like Lakeside, but there's a lot of poverty trailer park kind of culture out there. We call that area Santee, Lakeside. We call it Santucky, San Diegans. We call that area Santucky. I'll just put it that way. So,
Yeah, he could have used a good beating.
now
But
that said, Mary's Donut, Secretary Usher, outstanding donut. Outstanding. Didn't let that kid ruin my afternoon. Just rolled my eyes at him like, okay, buddy, you're 150 scrawny kid yelling at someone my size. Okay. Like, have it your way, buddy. I'm sorry you don't have a dad, bro. I'm sorry. So
Next time, throw him through Mary's Donuts window.
I'm not doing nothing. That kid has everything stacked against him. You know, I feel sorry for the kid. Oh, wow. Bad news for him. There's the original one in Santee. Okay, now we know. Mary's Donut. Yeah, Mary's Donut. Fantastic. What about the pink donut place in LA? Never heard of it, Heather. No idea. There was the pink taco for a while. Come on, guys.
Yummy.
It's like sixth grade humor. Knock it off.
I'll eat one.
Anyway.
I wonder if they could like dye the taco shells pink. That would be hilarious.
Come on.
Hilarious.
Come on.
They do it with the Dorito one. Why not with the pink taco one?
Do you really want a pink taco, meat, lettuce, cheese, and then some sour cream drizzled on top? You really want
an actual pink taco? That'd be hilarious. But that's what I mean. The food has to be great.
No,
so that it works. That's part of the humor. The food has to be great. If the food sucks, then the name of the place is stupid. But if the food's great, then it makes a joke work. And have a dyed pink taco shell. Nope. Hilarious.
No.
Absolutely hilarious.
As they say in French, je refuse. As they say in Spanish, me niego. I refuse. I will not eat at the pink taco.
Yeah,
no.
The French people suck.
No.
France
no.
sucks.
Heather says the building is pink. Some actor opened a donut shop and it's pink and he has a taco. I think she meant truck. She wrote plus. Is that Danny Trejo? Danny Trejo, the actor, has Trejo's Tacos. I've eaten there.
And those have to be great.
It's not good.
See?
And it sucks.
You can't do that. You can't have your name on a restaurant and everybody's coming down there because you're a star.
Dude,
and the food fucking sucks.
And it was expensive and it sucked, dude.
No way.
Now, this is what I do when a restaurant sucks. And I've only been there once. I understand even the best restaurant, the chef, the waiters, they could have a bad day. I'll go back, but I'm only going back once. You know, if I get bad service and they're rude, I won't go back after one time. But if I go somewhere once and it's a letdown, I'll maybe try it again. Everyone can have a misfire, right? Everyone can have a bad day.
But what are the chances of you going on that day?
Right. There's the Renowned has a line out the door Mexican restaurant in Chicano Park here in San Diego. That's the most Mexican, like celebrate-ish. They have all these Mexican paintings on the freeway overpass, all that. Cuatros Milpas. Everyone in town loves it. My grandparents had a Mexican restaurant for 50 years. I worked in that restaurant. I made tortillas. Everyone in San Diego is wrong. Cuatros Milpas sucks. Went there once, waited in the effing line. Everyone raves and raves. Instagram stories, blah, 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 blah. I waited in the stupid line. Dry, flavorless, white, look like sawdust pork in your taco. You could pick it up.
Oh.
And I said, my rule. Okay, one time they messed up. I'll come back. I've been there 3 times. It's exactly how the food is every time. Their salsa is made of oil and the bitter, like guajillo peppers, and they don't put any tomato or zing in it, any vinegar, any onion. And so it's just bitter chilies, very little salt and oil every time I've been there. Their taco shells, when you deep fry something, if you fry at a low temperature, it'll be like leather. You fry at a high temperature, it's like a Pringle. It just crisps apart. Every time I've been there, I'm pulling on the taco like a dog's chew toy. Cuatros Milpas is the most renowned Mexican restaurant in San Diego. It sucks. I won't go back. I hate that place.
Fuck you guys.
It's no, it's not personal.
No, it is now.
I'm sure the ladies that work there are fine people, but it sucks, that
bitches,
place.
all of them.
Oh, I have 3 bad meals in a row there. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, you'd be a fool to go back.
No, don't want it. Don't ever want to eat it. No.
4th time is not the charm.
No thanks. Now, maybe I actually like Quattro's Milpas, and I'm trying to make the line shorter.
Great plan. We'll see if it works.
No, I don't like it at all.
There'll be
It was
no
awful.
line.
It was awful every time I went there.
There'll be no fucking line there.
Party Harmonica, are those Alberto spots still around? We could get some carne asada. Hell yeah. There's Albertos, there's Alibertos, there's Rigobertos, there's Phillybertos, there's Robertos, and I'm not kidding. Someone told me like 15 years ago that the Albertos family, they split it between their like 4 or 5 kids, and that's why you get Albertos, Rigobertos, Phillybertos. I thought they were kidding. And then I found out like a month ago, someone else told me, no, that's actually true. I don't know if it's true. It could just be San Diego lore, but I choose to believe it because it's ridiculous.
It feels right. So
let's see. Secretary Not Sure says, I go to Casa de Guadalajara in Old Town. It's one of the best. I like to go to Super Sergio's on Convoy, and I like to go to El Gordo on Convoy. There's Tacos El Gordo, which is from Tijuana. That's different. And there's one right down by the convention center, and there's one in Chula Vista. I like to cross the border and go to Las Humadoras. That's a street with like 5 taquerias where you pull up to the bar, like they have a bench like right off the sidewalk. And there's like 4 or 5. I made a YouTube short about it. I showed you guys me eating there. And that's really good. There's Tacos El Paisa. That means tacos of a paisa is like a citizen or something like that. And there's a few of them at Las Humadoras. There's Tacos El Frank in Tijuana. Is Michelin star, not awarded, but Michelin star like suggested or noted. That was really good. I went there the first time and it was okay. Then I went back a second time and it was outstanding. So Tijuana is a gold mine of street tacos because that's like where they come from. Tijuana style tacos. It's insane. My favorite taco is the al pastor. That's the marinated orange pork with the pineapple. It's ridiculous. It's so good.
It's ridiculous.
And then there's a chain called the Taco Stand. There's 2 in San Diego. There's 1 in Miami. There's 1 in Vegas. And there's like 1 somewhere else. Their food is insane. And they always have a line out the door all day. You're just going to wait when you go to the taco stand. But it's hecho a mano. That's what it says. Made by hand. Tortillas made by hand. It's taco stand is so good. It's insanely good. So. That's just Tijuana tacos with silos here. No, it's just fine. You get a little cabeza, a little bit of lime on it. Now, cabeza tacos are cachetes, right? Cabeza means head, but in America, that means cheek meat. Cheek meat is delicious and fatty, right? Just like pot roast, just falling apart, delicious. I found out in Mexico, cabeza also meant the brains because they have brain tacos. That's sesos.
So they keep the brain.
It's pure brain. There's sesos, it's pure brain. But when I went to Tacos El Frank, they said the cabeza had brain in it too. So I had the cheek meat and brain. Because I saw what looked like white cottage cheese in my cabeza taco. And I'm like, I said, es sesos? And he said, yeah. I'm like, oh, no me gusta sesos. Solamente carne. I only want meat. So they switched it out for me. So I've not eaten brain and I don't want to. No thanks.
Oh,
More for you.
Shot. It'll make you
More
smarter.
for you. More for you.
You'll be like doing all these math equations. Square root. Let's go get some.
Heather trying to set me up to get me in trouble with my wife. There's a really good Mexican restaurant in Vegas next to a strip club. Nice try, Heather.
Oh,
nice
babe,
try.
taste it. Before you get mad, taste
nice
it.
Try.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Nice try. She's trying to get me busted.
Trying to break up a happy home.
Yeah. I say, hey, hi. Hey, honey, me and Jericho get some tacos. We come back, we have glitter all over our faces.
Now, wait a minute. Before you flap the handle.
Now, hold on. It was somebody's birthday at the taqueria. That's what's going on.
We didn't want to be rude.
Yeah.
Someone invites you somewhere, you don't be rude.
Anyway, so that kid who cussed at me in front of the donut shop is partying with his friends at the Red Circle. Ugh.
Yeah, that's when John Wick comes up behind him, puts a gun to his dome.
To WWE superstar Kevin Nash.
Yeah, and he says, take the night off, man. He goes, thank you, sir. He's taking out his earpiece right there. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And fuck out of here. And he starts shanking, drowning, shooting.
And you
killed
in the basement. My dog.
Oh. And because they're down in the basement. So that's where he was partying, has security everywhere. So at first he's sneaking around, taking dudes out ninja style. And then one dude sees him and they start fighting. And everybody knows.
I feel like obviously dying in a gun battle, awful. Dying in a gun battle when you're in your swim trunks with chicks, worse. I don't know how it's worse, but it feels worse.
Well, good thing John Wick makes it fast.
True.
He gives you one to the dome real quick, so it's over pretty fast. One of the cool parts is big old buff Russian dude gets out of the water and he fucking steps on his foot because the guy's barefoot. So he has dress shoes on. He steps on the guy's foot. He's like, and he pulls his gun. Boom, boom, or like 3 to the chest, and then boom, 1 to the dome. And the guy just falls back in the water.
Right.
So he's chasing this little piece of shit.
The little coward that he is runs out of there.
At one point, grabs a girl to block him, to be a human shield for him.
Right.
So
I love the lighting. The lighting is just insane in this movie.
Yeah, and his piece of shit score is going up higher and higher by the second. He's just a fucking little punk.
Just the way they play with all these reds and greens and blues. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool. It almost lets you know how to feel about the scene. Angry.
So, yeah, Juan Wick, we're going to call him Juan Wick. He doesn't get the kid that he's after, but he gets a lot of the other guys, the henchmen and the goons. But he also suffers a few maybe stabs, and he doesn't get shot yet, but he does get stabbed. And
he gets shot, but he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh, that's right.
Because that one guy, the main henchman, he kicks his ass pretty good.
Right.
And he fucking breaks a wine bottle over his head, then takes the jagged piece in his hand and sticks him in the fucking ribs, and then picks him up and throws him from the second floor to the first floor. He just lands on his back on the fucking dance floor down below. I mean, it was a pretty sick scene. He just fucking boom.
Now, wasn't the director of this movie like some stunt coordinator before he started directing movies?
Yeah,
right?
Paul something.
Yeah. So he action was his forte, obviously.
Yeah, he fucking nailed it here because that scene where he throws him over the little balcony and he lands on his back on the because then the camera that's down on the dance floor catches him falling out of the sky.
Oh, it's funny. His name is Chad Stahelski, and I'm gonna watch this YouTube video later after the show. But right there, the quote on it is, "It's not that hard." Chad Stahelski on how to direct action. So the thing about this movie that could go very wrong is, you remember The Matrix Part 3 or whatever? And it's just endless gun battles against those flying robots, and the humans have mech warrior, and it's just you want to go to sleep because it's just repetitive. The thing about John Wick is there's so much gun fu. There's gunplay, there's wrestling, there's knife play, and people falling off balconies and this and running up walls. And that director, it's masterful because the story is just a lot of fighting. There's a good story, but there's a ton of just fighting, but it stays interesting visually. It just stays so interesting. So, and that's a high bar. That's a high bar to clear. So, yeah. So he goes and gets patched up. And then his friend
finally gets a break.
Right. So he's sleeping it off. And, oh, no, someone's going to snipe him. But no, his mentor's not going to kill him. You think he is. This is great tension. His mentor shoots the bed next to him to wake him up in the Continental, where people are not allowed to attack each other according to the rules of these bad guys. Because Adrian Palicki, known as, forget her name,
Miss Perkins.
Miss Perkins is trying to kill him in the hotel, which is against the rules.
Yeah. And he said, we'll pay her double if she breaks the rules and kills him in the hotel.
Right.
So she took it.
Right. And they fight. He does not kill her. He does knock her out, though, right?
Yeah, and it was a good fight scene, because, of course, he's a man. He's bigger, stronger. He's John Wick. He's bad as fuck. But she was good at jujitsu. So that uses a lot of leverage. So where a smaller person could fuck a bigger person up, arm bars and flips and stuff like that. So it wasn't punching and kicking so much. It was her grappling and shit like that and trying to choke him out. Using her jacket to choke him and shit like that. But it turned out that he puts a sheet over her head, just punches the shit out of her and knocks her down with a classic, gun to the back of the head, gun butt to the back of the head. And she was out. Yeah,
because he's not allowed to kill her in the Continental, right?
No, but they weren't even supposed to fight.
Right.
But he had to because she's going to she's going to kill him. And so he tells this other black guy, this older black dude who's an assassin, he tells him, hey, you want to earn some extra coins, watch this bitch till she wakes up. He's all catch and release. Yeah. When she wakes up, just cut her loose. And then she ends up fucking killing him.
Right.
Puts a pillow over his face and fucking bam. So she's killed one person, fought another inside the Continental. It's not good.
So then, he goes to the church where the Russian people run a lot of things. And he trashes those guys, takes out a bunch of them. And he goes into this like safe they have where they have all kinds of money and all kinds of blackmail stuff that they use against other people. They have all this very valuable things, and he burns all of it. You know, and that's why that quote there's the guy says, "Do you know who you're fucking with?" It's like, no, he doesn't. He just thought he'd go burn a church for no reason.
But it's like tapes and pictures and fucking all his recordings and senators and mayors and all this shit, all their influence. And bye-bye.
One thing I like, and again, this is such expert writing. When you're writing any adventure movie, any movie that is the basic hero's journey, 3-act structure, you have what's called in Act 2 rising action. So you don't just repeat the action. You have action and it gets worse and the stakes get higher and things get more dangerous and there's just more at stake every time the hero is faced with something. So at first they attack him in his home. Then he goes on their turf to the club and attacks the son in the red circle. Now he's going into their church with their stuff, and that's so dangerous. Now the stakes are higher and higher and higher. It's great writing. You just keep making it worse and worse and worse till you get to the climax. It's really good writing, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, he hit him pretty hard right there. That was
right.
That was a strong blow there.
Secretary, not sure, and you and I have both said this exact thing, this exact sort of idea. Imagine if Brandon Lee never died. Keanu would be without a few movies under his belt. Yep. Yeah, you got your
Matrix.
You're sort of half Asian, half white guys. You got him, Keanu, Brandon Lee, and Dean Cain. Imagine a movie where the three of them are like triplet brothers, you know, in the 90s.
I bet Keanu Reeves probably would have lost the Matrix to Brandon Lee.
Oh,
and maybe this because of all the fighting.
Could have been.
Brandon Lee would have been sick as fuck as John Wick.
Hardy Harmonica says Chad Stahelski was on Joe Rogan. I might have to look that up. Yeah, love his directing. I should look it up since I write so many action stories. And obviously comic books don't move, but still the concepts are the same of action and all that. So
or could you imagine fucking Brandon Lee playing John Wick? That would be so fucking tight.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he would have had a lot of great stuff, Brandon Lee. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
So Heather says it's called El Dorado. Ignore the strippers in the parking lot. The food is great, and they make tableside guacamole. Take the wife.
Ooh, take her through the minefield, huh? Wow.
That's the move. You take your wife with you.
Brave move.
Okay.
Very brave.
You know, I'm going to write that down. I have a list in my phone that I've been compiling for 15 years of restaurants in Vegas. Because as you guys all know, I go to Vegas all the time. I do not gamble. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I love going to amazing restaurants and going to all the amazing shooting ranges and seeing the beauty of all the crazy hotels. There's always building something new. But I will add El Dorado to my list. That's a list I've had since 2009 in my phone of places to eat in Vegas. I just always add when I hear something interesting. So I listen to like a couple Vegas YouTube channels like all the time. Jacob's Life in Vegas. And there's another one like Ruby something. And then there was Pompsy, this kid from like New Jersey. He's a real Italian kid. And they do a lot of Vegas news and reviews. I always listen to those because it's one of my favorite places to go. So thank you, Heather, for the recommendation for El Dorado. And if they have that dry-ass, flavorless white meat, I blame you.
I hear about it.
You will hear about it if they have that. How dare you? How dare you? All right. So, yeah. So now he's gone into the Russians' place where they have money. They have their blackmail videotapes or whatever. And he's burnt that shit to the ground. So, you know, tit for tat, as they say. So he's really pissed them off here. Stakes raised.
Yep.
We get back to the Continental. This guy, what is this guy's name? He's been in so many movies and TV shows.
What was this fucking character's name? Damn it.
I don't
know. Was it Ray or?
We've seen him everywhere.
Harry.
He's one of those character actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those awesome character actors that's just in everything. And unfortunately, he's not in this movie very long because Miss Perkins kills his ass.
Yeah.
You know, he's in here, supposed to be watching her, and she
dislocates her thumb to get out of the handcuffs and then fucking pulls her piece, takes him out. Very fucked up.
So, meanwhile, the next day, the Russian boss and his buddies are walking through this parking lot, and they run into John Wick with a short barrel rifle. Is that no? That's standard length. Anyway, kills a bunch of guys, doesn't kill the main guy, and it's a nice shootout. John Wick gets hit by a car in this scene. Remember that SUV slams
Yeah,
into
that's
him?
how they take. Yeah, it kind of like skids, and the ass end of it comes around, knocks him up against another SUV, and he's out for the count.
Right. So have you seen those videos online of kids doing that horrible street takeover thing where they're doing donuts and they're sitting on top of the car?
sideshow? Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I saw a horrible video on Twitter. They rolled the car and the kids were already sitting out the windows when it rolled, dude. So are they dead? Like that's horrible, dude.
They're not taking steps not to be dead.
None the Miser says he was Lester Freeman in The Wire. Well, there you go. All the more reason to watch it. There you go. Yeah, so John Wick gets knocked out by an SUV. No shame in that. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, if you're going to go down, better be to a fucking SUV.
So finally, the Russians have gotten a hold of John Wick. They hate him because he's so scary and so unstoppable. He's the Terminator. He's just this force of nature that keeps coming and coming and coming. He won't stop. And this is a tough scene, man, because they put that bag on his head and they're suffocating him. That's just grotesque. When they're doing that shit. Ugh.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Right.
He's basically choking him out, but then his mentor.
Right, again with the sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He snipes him. He gets free. We get a shootout inside this awesome warehouse. Always with the great lighting, the green and the yellow. It looks fantastic. And I don't know. He's pointing a small shoulder rocket right at this guy from 4 feet away. Now, I was never in the military, Jericho.
No. That's a Kel-Tec 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. I thought. Oh, so what is that's a shotgun right there?
Yeah, they're hella cool.
The Kel-Tec have that weird look to them.
Yeah, they some carry 7 rounds and some up to 14. But those are fucking sick. I want to get
them. All right. Was this the glass room scene? I don't think so. Was there a bunch of glass in this scene?
In part
That's
3.
in 2 or 3. That's in 3, right? Where he fights the host from Iron Chef, Mark Dacascos or whatever.
Yep.
Ale cuisine. All right.
Fish.
And they do a great job of making the son annoying.
He's a fucking punk.
He's like playing Call of Duty 3 here, probably teabagging people when he kills them.
Yeah, he's just a little shit.
It's
the ultimate little shit.
So Wick has gotten away. The big boss goes back to lick his wounds at his desk.
But he gives him up. He gives him up. Because when he's pointing the shotgun at him, he's like, hey, where is he? All right, if I give him up, will you spare me? He's like, yeah. And he tells where he's all, they'll know you're coming. He's like, it won't matter. But yeah, dude gave up his own son. I'd be like, no, dude, you got to blast me. Because if you find my son, you're going to kill him.
All right.
Can't have that. No, coward.
Yeah, so Wick attacks the safe house where where the son and the boys are. And he guns him down. He shoots him in cold blood. He doesn't stomp him like the puppy, though. He does not stomp him.
Lucky for him. Lucky it was quick.
Right.
Yeah, he shot him in the stomach first. And then he's like, oh, what? What's your problem? It was just a fucking boom. Fuck, shot him.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's the end of that.
Bitch. Fucking
then he goes back to the Continental to play in his Cougarans.
He's
paying for a stay there because he's leaving now. And he runs into his mentor outside. And the Russians don't like that the mentor's been helping him, right?
No,
so the Russians
he paid the mentor to kill him.
Right.
Not to help him. So yeah, he's upset.
Right. So the Russians, they dispose of the mentor. So adios, mi amigo, Willem Dafoe. That's the end of him.
Yeah, he tortures him, beats him up for a while. He gets loose and shoots a couple of his guys, but then he fucking Miss Perkins blasts him and then he fucking kills him. So yeah,
all right.
Willem Dafoe don't make it, but good dude.
But then Miss Perkins, she gets got by other assassins because she was not allowed to be trying to kill people in Continental. So she has to pay the price for breaking that rule.
No, you bitch.
Right. So then we're going to have our final showdown here. Crossing over into Act 3 now. Act 2 is over, and John Wick is coming after the daddy. He's coming after the big Russian mafia boss. He got his son, but that ain't enough.
Yeah, you're in this too.
Right. So yeah, so we have some car stuff. Just awesome. I just love the lighting and the design in this movie. It's so good. The revenge tale, the action, it's superb. You know, the action, again, that director, man, he absolutely kills it with the action.
No pun intended.
Right. Crawling through glass. Everybody's getting shot. Everybody's getting stabbed. And you get a final fight between John Wick and the big boss. And the way John Wick takes him out is he lets the big boss stab him so he could do a move to overpower him and then stabs him. He stabs John Wick in like the torso, but not the heart or the lung or whatever that would kill him quickly. And then John Wick stabs him up near the neck, right? And that's going to make him bleed out real fast.
And you see like the blood just pumping,
right,
hemorrhaging out of his neck. It's over pretty quick.
Right. So yeah, so he's wasted. John Wick is dying, but he makes it to a veterinary hospital that's right near the docks. This movie has it all. It has the gunplay. It has the old warehouse industrial areas. It has down by the docks. If you love action movies, you love John Wick.
It has everything. The gear up scene, gun porn.
It has it all. It's a love letter to action movies, and it outdoes most action movies.
Yes.
You know? Absolutely. And it's got a solid story and solid characterization. So then at the veterinary hospital, he patches himself up and gets some bandages and some medicine and stuff. And then he takes a little dog that was scheduled to be executed like the next day or whatever. And off into the moonlight, not the sunset.
And that's where that flashback where his wife passed out in public. That's where.
Is that the Brooklyn Bridge? Is that? I can't tell. It's so dark, and I don't know New York.
I don't know all those fucking bridges.
Well, I worked on a graphic novel of the creation of the Brooklyn Bridge. I know a ton about how it was made because I worked on like 100-page graphic novel. Yeah, it was a historical comic book I did, not a superhero one. I think that might be it, but it's too dark for me to tell. But yeah, that's John Wick, guys. A revenge tale with insane action, gorgeous cinematography, and a rock-solid story, good characterization. Highest recommendation of Double Impact. If you haven't seen this one, what the hell are you waiting for? It's a very good one.
Yeah, I wish I could go back and watch it for the first time. It's that good of a movie.
I could smack you in the head real hard, and maybe you'll forget, and then you can watch it again.
Or I'll go in a coma, and then shit will go fucked up. So,
squeeze my hand if you can hear me, Jericho.
Just like the people that said that Trump was in on his assassination attempt. Like they pay that guy, like, shoot me in the head, but wait till I turn. And then when I turn, then shoot. Like,
people did not say that, did they?
Yes, that it was staged.
The next time you
said,
hold on. Just
make sure you hit me in the ear, though. Promise.
The next time you hear something that stupid, please don't tell me. Yes. I can't handle hearing things that asinine.
I can't shoulder that myself. It has to be shared. Yeah.
I could have went my whole life with not knowing that some serious adults think something like that.
Who's gonna go? Yeah, man, but just
promise. You're
not gonna shoot me in the head. Wait till I turn, then shoot.
Oh, please don't
150 yards away.
That dumb again. I'm
not making any promises.
I'm embarrassed for whoever thought that. Oof.
And these are famous people with lots of followers.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, John Wick, an excellent one. One of the best movies we've reviewed. I love John Wick for an action movie. But what it is, it outperforms what you would think from watching just like commercials or whatever. It really is.
Yeah. Fantastic. And you might even get your girl to watch it with you. You know, the whole love story angle. His wife, she died.
You would do that for me, Jericho?
I would draw her. Not you, like Gabe. Playing like my wife. Yeah, for her. But yeah, this is a great movie. There's a little something for the ladies, a little date night or something, and plenty of action.
Right.
Man, oh man, people are getting fucked up in this movie, and it is great.
Right. Chromass, are we doing all of them? Well, if that's what you guys want, the audience, sure, but not yet. The next few weeks are Keanu Reeves, but not just John Wick in a row. I want to do Speed next week, not the drug, the movie. And we're going to visit different movies of his. And then we go into Halloween season. We're going to do 4 horror movies for the month of October. I want to get Gremlins. I say Gremlins. I know it's Gremlin. I say Gremlin. I can't help it. An Event Horizon. And I want Jericho to pick the other 2. I think there's 4 weeks in October we can do stuff. So you are free to pick monster movies. I've never seen Alien, the original. I've never seen it. I love the second one. Saw it a bunch of times. Never saw the first one, but I'll let you pick two, whatever you want. So I don't do witchcraft or Satanism. I don't watch movies like that. So don't suggest it. Don't suggest it because I don't watch it.
Gotta start from scratch then.
So yeah, we'll get to more John Wick, but it'll have to be at least after that stuff.
Yeah.
And remember, we have Arnold's Vember at the end of the year. That's a tradition around here. We always have to do Arnold movies in December. So, but we're really running out of Arnold movies.
There's some bad ones out there. We can get crazy.
I've never been able to sit through Junior where he has the baby. Remember, we tried like a year ago, and I watched a half hour, and then I texted you and said, we got to do something else. I can't watch this movie. So,
there's a Raw Deal. That's a good one that kind of flies under the radar.
Okay.
Jim Belushi.
I think we did Raw. We did Raw Deal.
Did we do Raw Deal?
I know we did it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good one.
Dude, when we did Arnold, we did like 8 or 12 weeks straight of Arnold movies. That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
That's
so let me search my own channel.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, we did a ton
a
of
lot of Arnie movies.
We'll look. But yeah, we got to do Arnold Vember in December. November's wide open though, so we can maybe do some more John Wick in November. I don't know. You guys tell me. It's your show. You love it. So guys, everybody on your phone right now, pull your index finger out, get it out of your nose, and push the like.
Out of your ass, wherever.
Right now on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Like, share. There you go. Thank you very much. Make sure you're subscribed. Guys, all the links for all of Jericho's amazing things we're doing are in the description. Follow Jericho everywhere, but don't follow him around town. Follow him on social media. Follow me on social media. Go to bigmancomics.com. Get you some awesome clothes and some awesome graphic novels. Jericho, you got anything you want to share with the audience before we get out of here?
Yeah, no, just the usual. Hit me up on Twitter. Follow my new channel, Green's House. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Just search Jericho Green. I'll pop up.
All right. Mr. Reese says there's an Arnold movie where he was a sheriff. Did you review that one? I don't think so. Guys, just
which one was that? Where that guy's like driving real fast in a Corvette to get to Mexico or some shit. I didn't like that.
I don't know. There was one where he was doing UFC moves like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He would put a guy like in an arm bar at the end of the movie. Yeah, we'll get into Arnold. It's a fun time of year, Arnold Vember. Jingle bells. How would he sing Jingle Bells?
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. All what fine it is to ride it in the open the open sleigh with the one horse up there. Yeah.
So that's all coming, guys. Tune in next week for Sandra Bullock, who I never found attractive. Everyone told me she was so hot.
She's cute, man.
She's not ugly at all.
She goes in
but
the
I
90s
see her and it's just like, all right. I don't see what the hullabaloo is.
You'll get plenty of hullabaloo next week.
Good old Sandy Bullock. And is it Dennis Hopper's the bad guy in that one?
Andy. Hopkins, Dennis Hopkins, or Anthony Hopkins?
Anthony Hopkins, Dennis Hopper?
No, Dennis Hopper. That's what
I was right the first time, right.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, now I never saw Speed 2. That had Willem Dafoe, right?
Ooh, that one is a piece of shiza.
I've heard.
That one is bad.
Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Bad. The end scene, I won't spoil it in case we do it, but the final scene feels like a year.
Is it so bad it's good? Like we should review it and we'll have a lot of laughs?
Yeah, there'll be some laughs, but it is bad.
Oh, we could do Commando because I did Commando with Shanth and you weren't here that night. And Shanth was so good that night, and I was on the night we were hooting and hawing. I would love to see your take on Commando. So we could redo it because you weren't here that time we did it. And
we can do Commando. That's a fucking classic.
The Last Stand, that's what it was called. Oh, Eraser. We've never done Eraser. We've never done The Sixth Day. We've never done
with Vanessa Williams. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Did you know that Dean Cain did a movie with Wesley Snipes called Future Sport? I had no idea that he knows the Snipester. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here, and we will see you next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. I think Paul Chato wants to come on soon. He emailed me. The hilarious Paul Chato. Check out his channel on YouTube. He's so funny, that guy. And he wants to come back and do Blues Brothers with us soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so that might be next week. That might interrupt Keanu Reeves because when we have guests, I just have to do it when they're available. You know, they're so busy. Like I asked Matthew Marsden to come on. He's dying to come on, but he's been so busy. You know, we get Dean. We're trying to get Tyrus on, but I don't know if you've seen Tyrus. He's on a lot of TV shows.
Yep.
It's quite busy, but we'll get our guys on. We'll get the buddies on. We'll have a great time, and we will talk to you next week. Check out my video tomorrow morning. It is we'll get you out of here, Jericho. 1 second. Let me see. This is tomorrow's video. Okay, we're going into video games because I always talk about pop culture because we need to make good entertainment, right? What a great pun. I took Warhammer 40,000. I made it Culture Warhammer. We're talking about the failure of Concord, $200 million woke failure. And the Space Marine 2 game that just came out and is setting records. And guess what? It's not woke and everybody loves the game because it's fun. Culture Warhammer. Now, if you're a channel member, you can watch this video now. I posted it the day before. If you're not a channel member, then you're not going to be able to see it till 8 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. New videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. That's what I'm committing to now. You heard it here. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.